social media. Appreciate you so much. And yes, the rules still apply. Please make sure during this live broadcast that you are letting your fans, friends, and family know what's going on. So please make sure that you are updating, sending texts and tweets and whatever it is that you do. Please make sure that you keep posting while we are live. Big shout out to those of you who are in the chat room. Yes, I see your questions and comments. I appreciate you guys so much. And also, if you got my personal number and would like to send a text or do, because during the first hour, I am going to afford Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. And Judge an opportunity to talk and to discuss certain things, starting with the Democratic National Convention. So hopefully both of them are open to discussing that, because they've been getting a lot of requests via social media to discuss that. So, yeah, that's pretty much the lineup as it relates to everything. And what we're going to do at this time is we're just going to go on and get started, because it's already 3 minutes after. We've got a lot of people in the building. So, yeah, I am really, really excited to go on and open up the mic. 510-904, 510-904. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you?
I'm good on this end. Thank you for having me. How are you?
Oh, I am blessed and favored, blessed and highly favored. So grateful to be live today, because it's been a minute since I have been. Yeah. But yeah. If you don't mind, go on and introduce yourself to our audience, and then, like I said before, I turn it over to Judge LeBrown, who will be calling here in just a second. We are going to discuss a few of your upcoming events. So if you don't mind at this time, just bless our audience with your intro.
Right on. Again, let me extend appreciation to you, to Judge Joe Brown, and to the listeners, in fact, to the people in general, for giving me the opportunity to be online with you. I'm Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. I'm the son of Chairman Fred Hampton, who was Deputy Chairman of the Illinois chapter of the Black Panther Party, as well as that also of Akua and Jerry, formerly known as Deborah Johnson, the widow of Chairman Fred. I presently am honored and humbled to be the international chairman of the Black Panther Party Cubs. I know a lot of times people hear the term Cubs, they automatically think, are we talking about the youth? But the deal is, in the spirit of our mantra, one of our main mantras is that we are the great-grandchildren of Garvey, the offspring of Malcolm, and ideological Cubs of the Black Panther Party. We attempt to, as we say, not walk in their footsteps, but in their Panther Paw steps. We correlate many of our programs, such as the Freedom on Radio, which we have hosted every Wednesday by myself, and also co-hosted by Lady of Rage, done in the spirit of the Black Panther Party intercommunal newspaper. We some of our survival programs, we have the Triple C's, Children, Community, and Cubs. It's done in the spirit of the Black Panther Party Free Breakfast Program. We're not caught up in a time warp. We do recognize that things are constantly, evolving and changing, as well as dying and disintegrating. But however, we still stick to the core of that of the Black Panther Party, and that core being the fight for self-determination. So we also address cases of what we refer to as police terrorism. Many people euphemistically refer to as police brutality. Definitely that is the question of political prisoners. And as you mentioned earlier, a major campaign that we are dealing with now for quite some time is saving and maintaining the childhood home of Chairman Fred Hampton. And it's not done in a subjective sort of way, not just to say we want to save, Chairman Fred's home, but we recognize that everything is political, even buildings, and we correlate to even the tactic where Napoleon had attempted to knock the nose of the Sphinx. It was a strategic strike. So the location which Chairman Fred Hampton grew up in, we are turning into not only a museum but also a community resource center, continuing many of the programs that the Black Panther Party that they had going on. And so that's a basic sum up of some of the work that we're doing right now today.
Okay, so I noticed that you touched briefly on Save the Hampton House campaign. Now, can you tell us how that differs from the your father's upcoming birthday celebration, which is the Street Party,
yes,
which is scheduled to debut on August the 30th?
Yes. to save the Hampton House campaign is in fact it's been pretty much in effect for the last approximately 2 years. This is the house right on 17th Avenue in Maywood. Exact address being 804 South 17th Avenue, Maywood, Illinois. And it's really like on the cusp of the west side of Chicago. This is the childhood home that he grew up in. In fact, the elementary school he attended, Irving Elementary, is right across the street from there. In fact, this is the same home in which the federal government had called for a wiretap to be placed on his telephone when he was approximately 13 to 14 years of age. When he attended the junior NAACP, the federal government had recognized his organizing capabilities. When he attended the junior NAACP from 7 to about 300 members in approximately 7.5 month time period. It's also on the same block in which the infamous ice cream truck robbery case was given to him, in which the government claimed that he had took $71 worth of ice cream and gave it to the children, and his response was that even though they lied on me, made me have to be a thief, they made me have to be a Robin Hood type of thief, still serving the people. And when we got we came. I grew up during every other summer. During the summer periods, I would go there as a child, but this, ironically, after his oldest sibling had passed, I was in West Oakland, the Pacific area where the Black Panther Party was initially organizing at, and we were talking about some the tactics of the system of salting the earth. In other words, wiping out from the memories and the hearts of of our legacies. So we had challenged the banks. The banks were attempting to take the home. And we had exposed such contradictions that even the children who attended the school across the street, how it was an insult. They were not familiar with the legacy of Chairman Fred, and we make jokes about it now. We say now they had to get bigger shirt sizes. They walk with a different pride, a different determination. They talk about that's the home that Chairman Fred Hampton grew up in, and so many of our programs we have been conducting out of the same home. The Chairman Fred Streets Party. This is one of the two major dates that we, the Black Panther Party Cubs, collaborate with the December 4th Committee. December 4th Committee is headed by Akua and Jerry, formerly known as Deborah Johnson, the widow of Chairman Fred. And August 30th, again, the birthday of Chairman Fred, we have the annual Chairman Fred Streets Party. And December 4th, we have International Revolutionary Day, that being the day that him and Defense Captain Mark Clark were assassinated. But the annual Chairman Fred Streets Party has been an ongoing annual event for quite some time and got a lot of attention. In fact, approximately about 15 years ago, when we had launched a campaign to have the street named in his honor, in which the Fraternal Order Police and the City of Chicago administration, they fought it tooth and nail. But it's been an ongoing campaign. People from all over the world, come. And we put forward the different issues, the present day issues and contradictions that we're dealing with, and we kind of put like a political spin on the block party phenomenon that occurs in our community. This year in particular, we will be having a Cub and Community Caravan. Again, a Cub and Community Caravan. We'll be convening right there at Ground Zero. And I know some people hear Ground Zero, they automatically think about New York, September 11th. We're talking about 2337 West Chairman Fred Hampton Way on the west side of Chicago. We will leave there. We'll be fortunate to have Akua and Jerry, other members of the party who were actually there, give us an actual tour virtually. What happened? What occurred December 4th, 1969? And not talk about it in some sort of abstract, disconnected way, but connecting to the work that's going on right now today. Then we'll go to Madison, California, the Wall. In China, when you say go to the Great Wall, they know what you're talking about. In the city of Chicago, when you say the Wall, they know what you're talking about, the Wall on Madison, California. Then we're going to be caravan all the way down to the Hampton House, 804 South 17th Avenue, and we'll have a tour. Then we're going to the pool that's named in honor of Chairman Fred, the park that's named in honor of Chairman Fred Hampton. So we get a full day. But let me see, before the 30th, I forgot to mention this too. August 28th, that Friday, DuSable Museum, which is founded by Dr. Margaret Burroughs. DuSable Museum, we will be having a virtual panel. Myself, Akua and Jerry, and also the attorney that worked on the civil case, Attorney James D. Montgomery. So this will be happening that Friday, August 28th.
Yeah, I totally appreciate that so much. The judge is in the building. I don't want to keep him waiting. But do you have a website and or any social media that's dedicated to what you just discussed?
Thank you so much. Right now they can go to my blog spot, Chairman Fred Jr. is chairmanfredjr.com. Also, we in the process of putting together our website for Save the Hampton House. I do encourage people to go to the GoFundMe.com / Save the Hampton House 50. Again, GoFundMe.com / Save the Hampton House 50. And also we have the Cash App Save the Hampton House. But the GoFundMe also has a lot of relative information and updates about the campaign to Save the Hampton House.
All right, thank you for that. And I also want to take the time out to send a big shout out to Brother Bernard Johnson, who is the brain behind this, who made this happen, and also shout out to Paul. I'm not sure if he's on the line, but I definitely want to show him some love. But thank you so much, Chairman. I appreciate you. Thank you so much for sharing all that information, and I'll definitely make sure that this reaches our audience, our iHeart, our Spotify, Apple, Google, and all the other platforms that we are on. Also, we will have a flyering campaign here in just a minute. As soon as I can get all of my stuff to me, I'll make sure that is being pushed. All right, so at this time, I just want to take a quick break. You're very, very welcome, and again, it's an honor. I want to take a quick break because this is how I want to kick it off, but you never know the direction Judge is going to take it in, but just to get us started and set the tone, we're going to take a breather here. But guys, right now you're listening to the Judge Joe Brown Show. I am Valerie Denise Jones. 929-477-1167. Please make sure. I'm getting a little feedback. I don't know where that's coming from. I try to keep the background very, very quiet and at a minimum since we show this in so many places. But guys, I just want to send out a reminder if your mic is open and you know you've got background noise when we start to open the mics, please make sure that you mute yourself until you are ready to talk, especially if you know that your mic is live. All right, guys, so let's take a pause for the cause, pay some bills, and we'll be right back.
It begins with a groundbreaking speech.
Now is the time to finally meet our moral obligation.
An ambitious vision for America's future.
This is what we do. We reach the moon. We scale the heights.
And an acceptance of great responsibility.
I'm showing up for work tomorrow. I'm building that bridge to the 21st century.
This is how the general election gets underway. The Democratic National Convention. Complete coverage begins Monday at 7 on MSNBC.
We're always interested in what you have to say about our live broadcasts. Please share your comments on our Facebook page or website.
All right, guys, we are back. We are back. Right now you're listening to the Judge Joe Brown Show. I am Valerie Denise Jones. Big shout out to all of you who are texting me and those of you on social media as well as in the chat room. Thank you so much for your questions. We appreciate you for that. I need to check my mic. I don't know if that feedback is coming from me, so I think I'm just going to switch out. But anyway, at this time, I am going to Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. We are live at 10, so I'm going to open up the judge's mic, the Honorable Judge Joe Brown, 323-646. Welcome. We are back.
All right.
Right on.
One more time on the airwaves. Hello, young man.
All right, man.
Hello, Judge.
Chairman, how are you doing? Is Chairman part of your name, sir?
Yeah, it's actually I'm honored to have it as my official title. It became one and the same as my name, you know, until I'm voted out of that office. So it's Chairman.
How'd you get the title? Just explain. I knew. I met your father years ago. He was a teenager when I met him.
Right on.
I recruited Bunchy Carter, who was chairman of the Panther Party in Southern California, John Hudgens, Minister of Propaganda, Geronimo Pratt, Elaine Brown, Nathaniel Clark. And I knew before that Shermont Banks, who was the chair of the party in the LA area. So I was just wondering, I take it that the party we've got the new Panther Party now?
No, different. No, that's a different dynamic. Different dynamic. I'm the chairman of the Black Panther Party Cubs. And as I said, the Cubs, yes, and not to be. I know some people hear that term. They say, well, does that mean that you're young? No, the deal is our mantra says, or position is that we're the great grandchildren of Garvey, the offspring of Malcolm, and the ideological Cubs of the Black Panther Party. As I said earlier in the introduction, it's a tough act to follow, but we try our best to walk in not their footsteps, but their Panther Paul steps. It's an international organization. It was actually founded while I was held captive myself. I'm a former political prisoner, which is the state gave me some trumped-up charges right after the uprisings of the Semi Valley verdict by Rodney King, and it was founded while I was held captive. I'm just going to kind of restate some of the things I said earlier too, that we don't call up in a time warp, you know what I'm saying, but we look at that template, that prototype, and one of my major jobs is to make, the fight to maintain the legacy of the Black Panther Party. In fact, we have support. We have forces in LA. We just left Oakland, our sister city. So some of the programs, again, we tend to walk and carry that spirit on. And I'm a Panther Cub.
Your enthusiasm is admirable. Let me ask you this: have you made contact with Elaine Brown?
Yeah, matter of fact, we had reached out to in regards to the actual campaign we're just talking about now. We sent a call out to a number of different forces that was in the party about the campaign to say the Hampton House. So ironically, the campaign that I just spoke about, to say the Hampton House. That was the last time we had reached out to many different forces. We had did a different event for the 50th anniversary of Black Panther Party in Oakland, in which she and others were at. I think they were at it was the time kind of conflicted, but we was at Laney College for the event for the 50th. We had seen her briefly there, and also she took her through a tour. Other people that was in the Black Panther Party took them through tours of the Hampton House, laying out the significance about how our position was, and it still remains how significant it is to save and maintain that place, and again, not in a subjective type of way, just about Chairman Fred, but that of the Black Panther Party, that of the legacy of our people.
All right, now may I ask you to do something out of respect?
Yes, sir.
The Southern California chapter probably suffered more death from the responses of the Los Angeles Police Department and their SIS unit than any other part of the organization in the country. And there are a number of people who were slain doing what they did that probably need some historic recognition. Bungie Carter, John Hudgens, they need recognition. They should be recognized. Organizer Shermont Banks, who started off the party in the LA area, he needs recognition. He did not get killed. And some of that history should be put in there out of respect, I would just suggest. And you might contact Elaine Brown to find out a list of those who died trying to get effective change. Just saying.
Hey, Judge, we in sync. I don't know. I just talked to Deputy Minister Defense Bungie Carter's niece. We in constant contact. In fact, when I'm in LA, we've been at UCLA campus, the site where they were assassinated at, and again, actually,
I was in the building, in the location.
Yes.
What happened is
I seen the interview.
They were down in the cafeteria. They got killed by two gunmen and two accessories from the hustle organization.
Yes.
And Ron Karinga. They went upstairs, kicked in the door of my office, and put 2 bullets in the back of my chair. That was 4 more. So there were actually 8 people out there that day. Lane and I were coming down the staircase. We gathered up some weapons, and we arrived downstairs just as the 4 us members were running down the hallway. John fired 6 shots before he fell over dead, hit one of them in the back. Got in, and Bunchy Carter was face down, propped up on one elbow, moaning, and then he collapsed. And then we got Gwen Goodlow to get all of the artillery out of the building. But it was a tense time. So, yeah, I was in the building when that happened. That was Campbell Hall.
Yeah.
It was in the cafeteria. They were going to demolish that building, but a coalition between black, brown, red, and yellow, we got that building saved and dedicated to minority affairs. And now they got a big building, the biggest on campus, Bunch Hall, named after Ralph Bunch, who was a black involved with the UN. But interestingly enough, the people involved with it now, they've all got white husbands or wives, and they don't understand what the devil was going along. And they, what is it you kids use now, boule? Yes, boule.
You know, I had actually heard, I had checked the interview out that you did about that a while back. But let me also add this, Judge, about. No, I think we said to talk about this later on during the show. I don't want to jump the gun in regards also about this this movie project they're talking about. Let me say this legacy. When I talk about the legacy of Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party, by no means, like I said, I'm honored to be international chairman of this organization, and so that it's that the legacy of the Panther Party. In fact, we say legacy is more important than our life. There were, without giving too many details, there were fights. There were I had to step away from the discussion about the potential movie in regards to not just but the legacy of Deputy Minister of Defense Bunchy Carter, the legacy of Minister European, that legacy, that prototype. You know what I'm saying? By no means will we, as I said, even when we talk about the museum, that's the discussion about Chairman Fred is in that organization, which has been in so many cases under attack and still in attack. They're not only through bogus books, revisionist authors, attempts to do movies, state-made. We refer to as GMO organizations, government-made organizations. You know what I'm saying? It's still mind-blowing to me when I go different places and how the legacy of what type of snake oil is able to be sold in certain arenas about what the Black Panther Party was. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people say, well, what made the Black Panther Party unique? Was it because they had leather jackets? No, the Hells Angels had leather jackets. You know what I'm saying? They knew the law? No, a lot of cats knew the law. But that entity, you know what I'm saying? That's I fight so hard. We fight so hard for it because that's when I spoke at the funeral service. We had the repast of Stanley Tookie Williams. I had left there and we did something in the community. Because, you know what I'm saying, at Leimert Park. You know, when I spoke there at Leimert Park at the Tookie Williams funeral, I said Tookie Williams had grew up in the climate like similar to I grew up in, deprived of an organization such as the Black Panther Party, and the only options in life was to become a Boy Scout or a banger. We commit, never again on our watch. You know what I'm saying?
Tookie Williams, let me stop you right there. Tookie Williams and I were acquainted. He, Cliff Stewart, and Ron Chappelle, we were all playground directors at Trinity Avenue Elementary School. Yeah. And Tookie was a skinny little 12-year-old on the playground along with another skinny 12-year-old, the late Barry White, the singer.
Yeah.
So we tried to put some manhood in both of them. Apparently, we succeeded.
Yeah.
We tried to get Tookie out of the hood, but his mama wouldn't let us get him out of the swamp, so he just became the baddest alligator in the swamp. Last person executed on California's death row.
Yeah.
But
we
6 books for kids, and I found it interesting. Some of what I saw in his books are what me, Dr. Stewart, Dr. Chappelle now were trying to teach then, so it makes me feel good that our instruction took root, at least in part.
Right on.
By the way, for those who know, Grandmaster Sensei Guru Pendeka Clifford Stewart is an extremist. He's not doing well.
Yeah.
So that's
a
very interesting individual, and he was at UCLA at the time too. So, Black Belt Magazine calls him probably the most dangerous human alive in America, or at least he was until he took sick.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, people are like that. So we had a thing going on. May I point something out?
Yeah.
Who is this heavyset teacher, a sister, that travels all over the country? And every time the resurrected Panthers start doing something, she shows up, gets a bullhorn, and jumps in front of them and starts rambling off on stuff that's not inspirational or needed and ruining the effect. And they resent that greatly. I experienced that 2 or 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and the brothers were very disturbed about who this was. Somebody needs to put her in check. They had shut up so they had the press. Everybody showed up to hear them. She ran her mouth off for an hour and a half. After monopolizing the microphone, the press left and the moment passed.
Yeah.
And she had nothing to say. She bored the hell out of the audience. Half of them went to sleep.
Yeah.
But she's been doing that. Who is that?
I'm not familiar in particular, but it's so many. They come a dime a dozen. The system, they raise up so many individuals. You know what I'm saying? The co-op to obliterate or malign the legacy of Black Panther Party. We work at 24 hours a day. We had to go shut. We had to listen. They didn't try to do judge. They didn't sent, you name it. They didn't had everything ranging from attempts to do movies that wasn't authorized to these people. They at University of Chicago. They didn't have petri dishes. They didn't produce different people that was in the party, raise them up as spokesperson. We don't cut no corners with none of them. I'm talking the Black Panther Party Cubs. They don't try to raise up family members, bogus organizations. We come to see them. We done went down on movie sets. We done went up on events. You know what I'm saying? Because that legacy is more important than our life. So they are down with and we create a climate where it's not just the Panther Party Cubs, it's the community, the people. We hiding the contradiction. Like I said, in a lot of places, like a gardener, is certain soil that they can sell that snake oil in. Once we hide, the opposition is hiding the contradictions, so the people came, you know what I'm saying, the people themselves, you know what I'm saying, they can see them, they can see them individuals, whether they be directly on the payroll for the state or just, you know, just a bunch of reactionary individuals. So they are a dime a dozen. But we say this Panther Party politics, we carry like garlic. It keep the common cold away from the community. You know what I'm saying? So soon as they try to raise them up, I'll be all day naming you list of individuals that they done tried to raise up, the informers, they done sent out our organization, the attacks, the slander campaign. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people think they look at the COINTELPRO like in an abstract type of way. That's how bad it was back in the 60s. When we correlate, we made that connection to what's going on right now. Because a lot of people, they wait till it's safe to talk about it. I use the analogy where they had Muhammad Ali on the Wheaties box in 1988. And the guy said, well, Ali was an extraordinary athlete back then. Why y'all put him on there now? And they said, because he's safe. Then this was before his physical death. The deal is we don't serve no cold meals. We give them to the, you know, so we give them to hot. We call a question on individuals. Even they done try to bring people. They done try to bring individuals that was in the party. You know what I'm saying, to rewrite that legacy. We don't cut no corners with none of them, because again, I seen with their legacy. Again, it's more important than our life. When I talk about the continuing imprisonment of Imam Jimmy Al-Amin, formerly known as H.R. Brown, Mumia Abu Jamal. I tell you, I ain't set tripping. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I'm on the ground in Leimert Park in L.A. We in the ground in Oakland, California, Detroit, Ohio. You know what I'm saying? I'm just based here in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? But again, this is our Deputy Chairman Franco is facing in France, our France chapter. We fight. He going to trial next week for some truck charges. Our Deputy Chairwoman in Brazil. You know what I'm saying? Sujetti. So this stuff is, you know what I'm saying? It's going. Now a lot of people don't recognize what's going on because the Black Panther Party Cubs, we like the last call for alcohol. We the ones inside the bar that's been serving people all the time, but the state, the media don't put us up there. So a lot of cats, they go through these different GMO organizations, or the state sanctioned spokesperson, but when he get to the point, they say, man, who is that? The Cubs been here all the time. Check our resume. We honored to serve the people, but similar to that of the 60s. A lot of cats want, you know what I'm saying, when it becomes fashionable, they bring these different athletes up out of the, you know what I'm saying, Beyonce do halftime. A lot of people are black when it's beneficial, play Panther when it's profitable, and claim to be connected to the Cubs when it's comfortable. We on this 24/7, consistent, nonstop.
You're right on about that. You're right about that, young man. Let me say this.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of co-optation going on, and there are a lot of people that want to claim involvement that weren't.
Yeah.
And it's a shame. So stay strong with what you're doing.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad that you used the phrase heighten the contradictions. Miss Valerie will tell you that I often say that, and I guess that's a carryover from the 60s. And I've been saying instead of going for the lesser of two evils, sometimes what you need to do is go for the option that heightens the contradiction.
Ain't no doubt about it.
So you can see what's
Yes.
actually going on.
Yes.
Like black folk running around here for a decade saying there's no problem. Why you got to be a dinosaur judge talking about racism and the things that are going wrong with the country when all of those things changed up? Said no. And then they got Trump in, he heightened the contradictions, and now they're whining and crying about racism and everything else, and they don't get the idea about reality. One of the things I keep trying to tell people is, look, infiltration is real.
Real talk.
When you get the grandstanding and floor showing, you will find that if you had the ability to check it out, you would have a great number of your members who are infiltrators, snitches, agents, provocateurs, and you will have them as undercover cops and FBI agents, DEA and everything else, ATF, and you have to deal with that. And we got this thing we're talking about unity, and I keep telling people that unity just doesn't come because you want it or beg about it. You got to impose unity. And if you don't have unity, you don't have an organizational structure strong enough to unify behind.
Come on.
All you got is rhetoric.
Come on with it. Come on. Hey, Jill, let me jump in with you, Jill. Real tag team with you real quick on something. One, the initial point you brought up, and we relate to combating liberalism. And let me correlate this back to the 60s, back to the Black Power movement of the 60s. That was a class piece during the tenure of John F. Kennedy, a class piece. Now, Minister U.E.P. News said one of the most difficult jobs of being a revolutionary is you got to fight in the interest of the people, even when they don't know their own interests. So the Panther Party was consistent, even when it wasn't fashionable. So then, when Nixon pulled the covers off and said campaign for law and order, it forced a lot of cats. You know what I'm saying? To become quote unquote conscious. You know what I'm saying? Atmosphere. Sometimes you have a lot of reactionary responses, and that's not just something the black community. That's the reality. Because people get involved in struggle one of three ways: inspiration, aspiration, or desperation. In fact, the Black Panther Party Club, we say he turned more than me black. He turns more than me black. Now that means here, you know what I'm saying? Michael Jackson might tell you one day it'll make a difference you black or white. When that case come down, the song gonna change. They don't care about us. I get letters from cats right now who locked up with 75 years. Oh, Chairman, I hear what you're saying right now. Yeah, no doubt about it. So the conditions are necessary. You know what I'm saying? But the vanguard, the leadership has to be, even when it's not fashionable. And we can correlate this to our position even during the Obama administration was that Obama was the coldest drug that America dropped on blacks since crack. I'm gonna repeat it again. I can't speak kind of fast. Obama was the coldest drugs that America dropped on blacks since crack. You know what I'm saying? When he was running for Senate, when he was running for Senate, when he was running for Senate in Illinois, that was us. That was the Black Panther Party up on that stage. When they we went up on stage, we said this, Paul all they on stage. That was all us on the stage. When they brought them Russell Simmons and them brought them Pied Pipers in, trying to send people to sleep. We said this, man. What's their position on political prisoners in African anti-terrorism bill? And now when I say political prisoners, I'm just talking about the C numbers, Illinois. I'm talking about Sunday Adicoli. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about Rochelle St. Q. McGee. You know what I'm saying? We ain't set tripping. This is international politics. We being attacked internationally. So people say, oh man, y'all need to be cool. This is going to be one of the first black senators. It's documented. We said we don't care if you're going to be the first black Martian. If it ain't just the condition of the people, it's going to be a problem.
Let me interrupt you for something.
Yeah.
I told you I'd met your daddy when he was a teenager.
So you right.
You sound like him.
Hey.
In a way.
Hey.
But actually, to give you some kudos, you sound better than he did.
Well, I can't. I gotta humble myself because this here, hey, them Paul steps there. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I'm honored to walk them Paul steps. You know what I'm saying? And something else you said, Judge.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I haven't heard this in 50 years.
Man, but in all due respect, Judge, we got a lot of times people say, well, man, what is this just happened? I ain't heard about it. How the old accent go? If a tree falls in the forest and somebody sit down here, it doesn't make a sound. Of course, just because the deal is, it's an interview. Man, you can go on YouTube and put up an interview when I was in LA with Stevie Wonder about 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? I got cases in LA. The Oscar Grant case, we've been getting down. So we said let's seize the time because it's your saying. Again, we the last call for alcohol. It was some of the point, Judge, you had made. I wanted to touch on about the second thing you had said about about the structure. I'm glad you said that. This goes to your initial question about how I'm the chairman. A lot of places I did like. We did an interview. I did an interview yesterday, and this sister, she couldn't see politics impacts your hearing and lack of hearing, your vision, all that. And I say my genre that I represent of being a revolutionary. I say one unique dynamic about the Black Panther Party was the politics of it. He was Chairman Fred. That was Dead Men's Defense Bunchy College, not because the state sanctioned. A lot of organizations talk about the white man this, white man that, in theory. However, they go and practice and, you know what I'm saying, and bow down to them Yankees. You know what I'm saying? See, that was us. We checked the report in Chicago defending the newspaper for referencing Chairman Fred's widow as his girlfriend. See, that the Black Panther Party didn't say on Monday the state is attacking us. We don't value. They didn't go down that tool and say, excuse me, could you stop Billy Club, beating us with the Billy Club, the nigger bigger and locking us up and validate our relationship? It was consistent. The politics of the terms, the word. I'm in Ireland. I'm in Ireland on a delegation for the Mumia Abu Jamal campaign. Yeah, Ireland. I'm in Ireland. So the family, the Move family, we in Ireland. So get to Ireland. So Bernadette Devlin from the Irish Republican Army. She first come out. She said, "I remember seeing you as a child. A baby had like a chain, a bullet around your neck. And I remember y'all titles of y'all organization. Dead Minister of Health, Ronald Doc Satchel. It don't be no ego tripping, but that structure, that politic of it, and you know what I'm saying. And like I say, automatically, like you say." A rapper, you say they say Puffy Combs, this Jay-Z. People respect that. Even the deal is, this is, I can tell you, like, you know, this was some battles, you know what I'm saying, we even had on the movie set. I said, let me be clear. I only was our consultant, I had to do a whole bunch of damage control in that movie set. I said, this ain't no ragtag group, you know what I'm saying, a group of guys. This is a structured organization. People talking, well, I heard, was that your friend? We say terms like comrade, this is real talk. We have a platform, we have an ideology, and people, a lot of places, a lot of locations you go to, in my mind, the Panther Party was this and that. You can't sell that snake oil in Chicago. It's a structure here. One of America's policies is to create chaos and restore order. It's a definition for a Chevrolet. It's a definition for a Muslim. It's a definition for the Black Panther Party. I'm in Denver, Colorado some years back speaking. So there's one cat, he talking about, hey man, you know, they mean well, you know, all y'all should just come together. I said, okay. Talking about the legacy of Black Panther Party. I said, okay, I'll be right back, but I'm finna go do my salats, my prayer. I'm gonna pray to the north. He said, whoa. I said, oh, are you offended? That's sacrilege, ain't it? He said, yeah. I said, my point exactly. When it comes to this legacy of the Black Panther Party, it's a structure to this here. And the Black Panther Party cause is carrying the legacy of their organization. Ain't no ifs, ands, buts, and souls about it.
I like it. Okay, that's good. Now, I tell you what, I want to let you tell us what we need to hear. You got the platform. Run with it. And I'll come back in a little bit. I'm not going to interrupt you, but I haven't heard this in a long time. It's good hearing it. And like I said, you're putting it out there better than your daddy did.
I respect. The deal is, this, like I say, it's a climate. We in a stage in the game. It's terrible. It's terrible what it's
fact. Let me say this. I'm giving you a compliment. You're in your 50s, right?
I'm actually 50 on the dot, and I'm surprised. I'm 50 exactly. I'm surprised I made it this long. I'm riding on fumes now. You know, I'm surprised I'm still here.
What I'm saying is, unfortunately, your father was just at 20 when he was slain, but you've got 30 years worth of wisdom and experience to put on top of it. And too many of the leadership in America that was killed was under 40 when it happened, so they never got into their full manhood, maturity, or store of wisdom to input into what they had learned. So that's good. I am fond of saying on this forum that we haven't had a black political leader slain since your father, and that's been 50 years ago. And all of the rest of them were just playing thug stuff and rap and fitting into that crazy mantra of nonsense, entertainment, and distraction. Yeah. All right? So go for it. You got the floor.
Judge and Chairman, give me 1 second because I just want to do a time check. That's the first thing I want to do with you, Chairman Hampton. I want to see how much time you've got. We've got 3 people who I definitely want to get and bring in this conversation, and that would be Brother Bernard, of course, giving him a chance to have some dialogue with you guys. But also we got Maurice Duncan and Derek Muhammad, who I'm going to allow to chime in. But so if you could tell me what time you got available.
I was set for. I relate to Democratic Centralism, so I'm writing a note to my comrade right now, asking to get a little extension of time. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I'm doing it right now as we speak. So I think we're gonna be good for. Let me know how much time y'all want to go with. I think we good for a minute. We good.
All right, Mr. Chairman, you got it for a while. Right. Interact with these other guests that we have on today. I'm gonna be listening. All right.
All right, Judge.
I want to at this time give you a chance to finish your thought and then just talk.
All right.
Right on.
Yeah. Toss it back to me to let me know when it's okay for me to open up the lines. Okay.
Well, you know what? One thing.
Opportunity to speak.
I'm open. I work best that way. Interaction of the Chairman Fred would say, I feel the beat of the people. You know what I'm saying? And let me say this. Before bring the callers in. But let me say this. I'm armed with a politic. We armed with a politic that does not force us into either or. You know what I'm saying? This is like even this is in regards to the legacy of Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party. You know, like Sheikh Anta Diop talked about, like the society our people come from. It worked in like it can work in. There's a matriarchal type of society where you can work in harmony with nature and the gender contradictions, the men and women. It acknowledges that there are contradictions. They don't necessarily have to be antagonistic. People talk about like different leadership in the Black Panther Party. Well, who is this person? It's imperialism breeds a dynamic where it says something like, "Hey, this person, this comes at the expense of that." You know what I'm saying? No, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, we come. You can look in Kenya and Africa. We come from society where an individual can ride the elephant and go where they going, and elephant can still exist. It doesn't have to be one at the expense of the other. My tree taller than your tree. You know, it's acknowledging contradictions. You know what I'm saying? It's taken into account. I see when we talk about Chairman Fred and the Black Panther Party, it's important. This is another thing I struggled on the movie set. The cats, you had a generation of cats that can't fathom. Some cats was organized without no cell phones, without no social media. So all these different dynamics got to be put in context. You know what I'm saying? And that's what the philosophical tool that we relate to is dialectical materialism, as opposed to just absolute. Like, okay, you got to put stuff in context. I say, like, it's what you mean by that, Chairman. I say, okay, imagine some cat talking about they in a Muslim community, they want to get a dowry for their wife, and they come up and tell me they got some 3 horses and some cattle. You gonna catch a case. You have to put stuff in context. You know what I'm saying? Different dynamics. Like even I'm real careful on how the criticism, even with certain generations coming up. A lot of these youngsters, like even when Judge just mentioned about the age rate, it's a strategic war tactics. The time they lock us up. Like even you see how these guys coming out of prison, they 50, 55, 60 years old. At least they get out. They have been taken away from the community at the time during their reproductive ages, and like I think it was on the tenure of George Bush Sr. And I think it was over 78% of the population in Iraq was under 17 years old. So here you had a whole generation of cats who had no frame of reference of what happened to them before. You know what I'm saying? And so now you're going to produce a bunch of reactionary. You know what I'm saying? Like cool cats who just getting involved, ain't got no past example. You know what I'm saying? What's going on before? And the term generation technically means 21 years. But when you're in the colonized community, you have to assess and adapt those definitions. So you got to I mean, one time one of our comrades, he come on making reference to this young cat Boosie. He was saying he like Tupac. I said, hold on, man, that's a different cat. He good for his era. What he got to work with? You know what I'm saying? He say, man, no. So I took a little Boosie directly. I said, now you see the different dynamics. You know what I'm saying? You get to understand what produces a Pac. What makes a Nipsey Hussle? When I first met Nipsey Hussle, I'm backstage in Sacramento. In concert. So I'm at a distance. So I'm looking. I say, man, what kind of chain he got on? So this mind you, at this time, this when they pushing the whole thing. Kanye West on with the white Jesus with the go. So I said, whoa. I said, this young brother got Malcolm X on his neck. So now I said, my man. I said, you familiar with Nipsey? I said, you familiar with Chairman Fred Hampton? This Nipsey Hussle. I'm telling you, man. He tell me, he say Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. What type of man would I be if I know who Chairman Fred was? This thing just come out of no vacuum. You look, you know what I'm saying? You look at the dynamics of his father. You know what I'm saying? His lineage, him going to Eritrea and experiencing that communalism. So a lot of cats have no frame of reference of even seeing nothing like the Black Panther Party. So that's why that's why certain places and certain generations they can sell certain snake oil to them. This legacy, when I talk about it, we ain't talking just no chairman for no subjective way by Chairman Fred. This I seen with it's a little brother up in Chicago who. Name they call Big Law. Google his name, Lawrence Lee. The Chicago Sun-Times said this cat was assassinated. This young brother was with the Black Disciples. Now, mind you, the history of the Black Disciples. Now, we need to take a look back so we can put it in the correct context. The Black Panther Party hiding the contradictions. We flipped the script when the FBI is documented. It's a book called Up on Madison Down on 79th Street by John L. Rice, where the FBI told the vice lords they'd get them 16th Street if the Black Panther Party cannot open a free medical center on 16th Street. Chairman Fred warned them cats at certain points pulling guilty to the fact they ended up working at the free medical center. Hiding the contract with the devil disciples got up publicly and said, we now change our name to be known as the Black Disciples due to the political education receiving Chairman Fred Black Panther Party. And even at the federal government's own, you see the Blackstone Rangers and the Black Peace Stone Nation, it was a different dynamic. The federal government said even when the Black Panther Party was on the scene, there was a record load they called black on black crime. That's the politics that we relate to. So we dare not negate it to know. We talk about, like, when we brought this proposition to many people that was in the Black Panther Party about the house will change, man, in fact, our mantra with the Hampton House is bigger than the building, more significant than the structure. We first got to the Hampton House, they try to salt the earth, try to turn it into a dope house. It's documented. They push it dope. We ain't cut no corners with none of them. They had family members. We put 2 suitcases up there. That's what that's for. I said, y'all, we understand the significance of that location. That building been flooding, water all in the basement, ceiling falling in. But we said, indeed, this shit, man. The political significance of this place, we got to maintain it. We had to fight. It's a war tactic. When Napoleon came through and shot that Sphinx on the nose, it was a strategic tactic. I got ideological difference with Dr. King. However, when you read that article about a year ago that the government had to took the house of Dr. King in Atlanta, that's a statement to all them resources, all them money them rich Negroes get up there, that they take the house of Dr. King. This is, you see, a lot of times we look at things subjectively, whether it be property, a lot of people talking just the land. They talk about land negating other politics. Like even sexuality. See, a lot of times we look at that subjectively. Oh, this rapper like that rapper. Man, all of these be arranged weddings, strategic moves, conquering tactics. When Rome said go take over a country, you go for it wasn't about who they like you physically, political maneuvers. And we got to understand everything is political. They ain't talking about no plantation politics. Words turn fashion. They got our community so reactionary, we'll be talking about, well, look how Obama dressed. Look how smooth you are. You don't see white folks talking about how Trump look. They talking concrete policies. And what's politics? Food, clothes, and shelter. How it's distributed, how you get it, how you receive it. And who get it. Everything political. Now, I don't know if we're looking on time, since you might want to bring our guests in. Our callers in, too.
Amen. All right. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm over here taking notes. Appreciate your energy. Thank you so much. I just want to remind the guys, everybody, we're getting ready to open up a few lines here during the first hour. Right now, you are listening to the Judge Joe Brown Show. I am Valerie Denise Jones, 929-477-1167. If you are live, please tell a friend who will tell a friend about the show. And also, please make sure that you keep your friends, family, and your friends on social media abreast of what is going on. So keep sending out those posts sweet shares. We appreciate that. So at this time, because I appreciate this person so much, the next few callers definitely are part of my inner circle. So it's definitely an honor to have them on the line, Maurice, Derek, and Brother Bernard. I'm going to start with 804-83855-804. That's my mic. So I got to check this. It's bugging me, so I'm going to have to cut out a lot of this. But 804-855, your mic is live. You are live right now with Judge and Chairman. Please make sure that your background noise is at a minimum, even though mine isn't. Hi.
How you doing, Valerie?
Less than favorite. Thank you so much for asking.
How you doing, Judge? And Chairman Fred Hampton, it's good to do this again.
So
I
you
gotta
right.
come back out there to Hampton House.
Come on, Black. Come on, Black.
I want to come back, man. I loved it, man. We took 4 hours. I know I ain't nothing but avocado when I was there, but hey. Talking to the big brother, Paul McKinney, and I heard they might be bringing the National Guard to Chicago today.
Yeah, they took. Okay.
So,
Right, man. Well, first of all, good to hear your voice, bro. And don't be just saying all you ate was avocado, giving the impression that that's, you know what I'm saying. If people, it's chicken, fish, all type of food over there. So don't be just saying like all like that's the greenhouse though over there. Nah, so you're right. You. But first, right on, making the connection, my brother. Two, yes, it's been, the deal
Actually,
is.
before you get started, I just want to open up all the mics. I'm just going to leave them open and so it'll sound more conversational. If you don't mind, Chairman, I'm going to, open it up that way. It doesn't sound so scripted.
Judge, you still with us, Judge? Judge, still with us?
I'm still with you. I'm listening.
Right on. So you're right. Right on, Judge. Right on.
All right, so I'm also going to open 407-308.
Let me ask you a question.
818.
I got a question for you, Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this.
Yes, sir.
How do you contrast the reaction that you're seeing from the authorities in Chicago to this, I don't want to use the term unrest, just a unruly little gang of ratchet cupcakes getting out of hand, as to what they would have done 50 years ago if people had been doing the same kind of thing? They would have really called out the cavalry to go jack some folk up. Nowadays, they're acting with so much restraint, letting them burn stuff up, hardly arresting anybody, letting them right out on bail to go do it again, and nobody's getting beaten, jacked up, or done in. How do you contrast the response today in Chicago to what it used to be?
Well, let me premise with this. Deal is we got to acknowledge that just because the news don't report it don't mean it ain't happening. It's like Chicago it was a discussion about what they call the black sites. Now people talk about the black sites when black sites really is these one of them was revealed on the Home and Square police, underground police station where the police admit that they adhere to no police protocol. Take you in, they got ski masks on, badges. They acknowledged it when the white individual was taken there. Now mind you, this been going on. This in 1996, former U.S. Attorney for the Northern District Jim Burns, they implemented Operation Headache. They did these sweeps on the GDs, formerly Gangster Cyber, then they became Growth and Development. There are sections of them who have never been seen again. So these contradictions have been happening. But when it happens, so it's kind of like Richard Pryor said, white people who ride through the black neighborhood and see people shooting dope in their arms and say, that's a shame. They'll come home and their son got a can of Budweiser and say, oh my God, it's an epidemic. So and that's one of the criticism that Chairman Fred had raised during the Democratic Convention in 1968 about the white left. You say, y'all would get involved and engage in some coastal-ristic, anarchistic actions that will bring down heat on the black community and Henry Hornet projects. So I think it's important that we set the narrative just because the news ain't reporting it. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people talking about, I think the police, this is just happening because social media. No. I'll be on scenes. I'll be at protests and on 56 in Aberdeen the other day, last week, And the news was, they had the news corral in a corner. And they told them, Chicago police, this is what you can report. When people seen what I went live on, they said, man, when was that? I said, the same situation. So I want to premise with that. Two, I think it's important also that we talk about whatever contradiction we're talking about, whether we're talking about the uprisings, we're talking about the crime in Chicago, we're talking about revolutionary organizations, that nothing comes into our community, whether it be chitlins or crack, that's not contaminated by this system. They ain't got their hand on it. You know what I'm saying? Like nothing in Chicago, excuse me, Chirac, ain't no dope, ain't nothing in this city that the cartel ain't got their cut on. That's a fact. So there are certain dynamics that are organic, and then there, you know what I'm saying, you have, you know what I'm saying, that's enhanced. So a lot of these individuals are put into our community. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we have. So be like, man, like in the community, like why Nicky Barnes never got locked up in New York? Oh man, you know, the police don't know where yet. He was on the payroll for Rudolph Giuliani all the time. A lot of these organizations, they didn't infiltrate. They didn't sell out. The word sell out is one of the most overused terms in the black community. Why do I say that? It be individuals who told you through the door, through their actions or their non-action, lack of action, what they was on. A lot of times we come in with a foregone conclusion. Oh man, you know, man, this person's gonna do something. They ain't even said they're gonna do nothing. Obama never said nothing about Katie Couric interviewing him. He told you, man, I'm Democratic first, man. No, he don't mean that. You gotta wait till the next term. He gonna speak in cold words. If you go to the pet store, they tell you, listen, man, we ain't got no more dogs, man. All we got is goldfish. You said, man, I got my heart set on about some dogs, man. They said, sir, we don't have no dogs. All we got is goldfish. But if you're so subjective, you get the go. You say, well, okay, I get that. Get the goldfish. You come home, you throw a leash on it, you feeding the goldfish puppy child, and you say, man, I can't. This dog, this ain't nothing. This is sold out. It ain't barking. It ain't defending my house. That is on you. So we have to come in with a correct preface. That's in a relationship. Somebody come talk to you, say, oh, this is a one night stand. This one, okay, that's what it is. Now you get to go and buy wedding rings, all that. You have to question yourself. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these individuals that they put in our community, see, gentrification, land grab. These are war tactics. You destabilize the community. One of America's policies is to create chaos and restore order. They got groups out here that you think protesting. People don't know them people from a can of paint. Don't know them from a can of paint. Once you destabilize the structure, see one thing about Chicago, you think Chicago was the last place that the government brought crack in by coincidence? They had to kill Fluky Stokes and lock up Chief Malik. Once you destabilize the structure, it opens the door for different moves. Our community, they got these young cats. They go pick out these. They like in a jungle. They send the poachers in, kill the daddy and mama gorillas. Then the baby gorilla be so traumatized. The first thing she see, the baby don't see no breast milk from the gorilla. They got that white hand putting that powdered milk in them, and they think that's they safe. They never forgot this the poacher. So our communities, they come through, they strung our families out, they locked us up, killed. Then they come through, throw them in these foster homes, you know what I'm saying, these orphanages. And they come through and they get through with that, you know what I'm saying, they like using the police to, let me tell you something, Judge, I'll never forget this one time, I'll never forget this. You heard, I don't know if you heard former Lieutenant of Chicago Police, John Burge. Judge, you heard of John Burge?
Yes, I have.
John Burge, I know, you know what I'm saying, I know you have to him, but this for the benefit of those who are not familiar with, Commander of Area 2 Violent Crimes. Now, he was, now a lot of people make him like he's this bad torture person, he's this bad individual. He was part of a machine. He really got down when Daley was the state's attorney, Daley Jr. was state's attorney. He was equipped with a special elite sort of team. Including that team, he had Joe Machine Gun Gorman, who got his nickname, got his moniker from the role he played December 4th, 1969, the assassination of Chairman Freddie Defense Lamar Clark. Now, John Burge, he was trained. He's homegrown, a Fort Benning, Georgia. All the electric box, all the type of tactics he would do, he was trained. And he took him across seas, but he was getting down over in the U.S. They would acknowledge it. They just, oh man, he's a bad police. Matter of fact, my brother on the line right now, he remember I had to go. I love him, but no, I said, listen, man, Don't be saying this dude is no bad, but this ain't no Bonnie fight. This ain't no Mayberry. This is a war. Ain't no war on drugs, no war on guns, no war on gang. It's a war on our people. And when them different, you had these different rappers dropping the garbage on us. That ain't there's no bad rappers. That's propaganda bombs. We had to start recognizing war terms. So John Burge was equipped with a team. And one time, I mean, we had court one time. That mind you, John Burge didn't get charged with torture. He didn't get charged with torture. He got charged for lying to the feds. So basically, they say, listen, your crime ain't electroshocking black folks on their private parts. Your crime is you lied to white folks. So when he in court, the lawyer he got, the same lawyer he had, the same lawyer, the one defending the police, James Van Dyke, on one shot Laquan McDonald over 15, 16 times. So we sitting in court downtown the federal building. This out there. Now, mind you, I've been banned from the court, so I finally, they give me back up on the fault there, so I'm back in the court. We're in the courtroom. And I never forget this. The dude, one guy who was tortured. Now you, John Burge got a whole list of guys, people, women and men, the women. Now, I'm not going to say he didn't torture women because I don't know about them. See, humbleness, we have to acknowledge it, man. I know it's the stuff I'm not hip to. But we in court, and so the guy is describing how John Burge tortured him. He breaking down how he put the typewriter bag over his head, put the electric shock on his sex organs, all that. So the John Burge lawyer come up there, he say, hey, tell us again what happened to you. So dude said it again. It wasn't a dry eye in the courtroom. Everybody in there, their eyes were, they messed. I mean, hey man, everybody messed up. Everybody twisted. So he looks over there. He say, tell the courtroom your first phone call that you made when you got it on bond. So he looked toward me. So everybody look at me. So we think he finna bust out some cold-blooded, some Columbo evidence, like he dude got out, he was, protesting with me. So I'm trying, I don't remember this dude. He told me, what's happening? So the guy mumbled something on the stand. He say, repeat again to the court, what was your first phone call that you made after you got out from being tortured by John Burge? Man, this dude say his first phone call, when he got to being tortured, he called Lieutenant Burge and asked him could he get his tools out the car for him. Now listen, they ain't say call the police. I'm talking about that's how the dynamics of our community, man. They pick up certain forces. Politics like real estate, time and location. How they assassinated Chairman Fred, Defense of Lamar Clark. How they assassinated Deputy Minister Defense Bunchy Carter and Deputy Minister of Education John Huggins. Strategic strikes. Who they raised up? Who houses got raided? January 17, 1969. Not just what happened on UCLA campus. What with the aftermath? The whole process of, there's a difference between a war and a revolution. A war is two occupying armies, suit up and boot up and get out and get down. A revolution, you gain the minds and participation of the masses of the people. A lot of places are so reactionary. All they see is the gun. All they see is no. Who they raise up? Who didn't get attacked? Who got attacked? When they get attacked? And it sticks to your mind. And that's it puts a mark in your heart and stain in your brain. We have to humble up.
You're telling it like it is.
We have to humble up.
Yeah, you're telling it like it is.
We have to humble up. We have to say, man, we have to come to a point and say, this here.
Let me say something before everybody else jumps in. If you study these things, there is a formula that has been applicable to successful movements and revolutions for years and years and years, and a lot of these people who are new to it have all of these enthusiasms and have all of these rumors, myths, and beliefs that they adhere to, and they don't study the process. They need to study the process so they don't repeat the mistakes. Thank you for giving us some of the process.
Right on, Judge. Also, I mean, if I respectfully add this to it too, because he did a lot of, this cat asked me to join our organization one time. I see this might not be cut from your cloth, but this like, a lot of cats can just sit on there and do a whole bunch of what Chairman Fred called intellectual masturbation. It's not, the deal is we wed theory and practice. In order to come out and tell you a cub, you're gonna hit that concrete. You're gonna have to interact with the people. A lot of cats, they'll do study like even with the music. They hit us with the good cop, bad cop tactic. They, on one hand, they gave us a bunch of reactionary rappers who used so much misogynistic terms that we thought nigga and B was our first name. Then on the other end, they hit us with these abstract conscious artists who can't connect to our community. You know what I'm saying? Who's so detached. You know what I'm saying? Who cats can't relate to. The deal is, we have to weigh it theory and practice. It's like some of these cats, they be like they're all they do is reading. It'd be like a shadow boxer. You know what I'm saying? You go say, man, who was that? Oh, that's shadow boxer. So he a champ. Who he fought? Now he be in the ring. You know, he be sweaty, come out there. But who is he? He's a shadow boxer. See, you asked me, Judge Brown, in the beginning. You asked me, say, man, where you get the title chairman from? I told his brother, I said, listen here. This ain't no Egyptian dynasty or nothing. I've been held accountable. I ain't Chairman Fred just gotta look like him and talk like him. I'm held accountable. They say, okay, we're gonna see what you're gonna do when you go to they take you to the Max Penitentiary. We're gonna see you in Supermax. We're gonna see when you got to organize the Stones, the Disciples, the Vice Lord. We're gonna see the police when they come at their heat on you. Contested conditions. A lot of cats saying, I told one of these conscious rappers one time, I say, why you think when they first get y'all first stop is in Germany somewhere? He say, why you think that, Chairman? I said, you the blackest thing over there. Why you think when you watch 48 Hours, the police take you to a room, they don't ask you no question out there in the community? Isolate you. Say you train, you isolate them. You under no contested conditions. See, I tell cats, I say, like a lot of different organizations, you know what I'm saying, they subscribe to, oh man, who said, oh, it's one of the elders. Our politics don't go just for that, just because you older, you know it. Man, did this here. Man, I tell people, I don't play no long distance poker. That's what you mean. You have to put some skin in the game. You're not going to be calling, hey man, who was that? Oh, that's such and such, you know, they got 5,000 hits on YouTube. Man, you missed me with that. We got scars and bars in this here. You got to put some skin in the game with this here. One time, some cats want to do a coalition with us. Paul, my guys, my plan B guy sometime. Paul tell the dude, he say, man, D, man, you talking all this stuff, man. We them guys in the plantation, they transfer you from another plantation. You got to pull your shirt off so we can see your back. See if you got some whips on your back. So you're right.
Heard that before. I've heard that before.
But I would also, guys, like to give Derek Muhammad and Maurice a chance to say hello, introduce themselves, because we are now we're in the second hour.
Whoa.
I don't want to run out of time now. So
whoa, Judge, you got me on here 2 hours, man. Judge, you got me on here 2 hours. I'm in the courtroom with the judge 2 hours.
Yeah, I don't want to get caught up.
You're on the witness stand, young man.
Right on.
All right, young chairman, you on the witness stand.
I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and the truth. Man, long live Reverend Nat Turner. Praise the Lord, past ammunition.
All right, so Maurice, would you like to interject at this point?
How you doing, brother?
What's happening? How you feel, brother? What's happening? How you feel, brother?
I'm living, brother. I'm living. I wanted to get your take on the upcoming movie that's supposed to be coming out about your father. First and foremost, did you approve with some of the story line that went in it? And two, I was checking out some of the clips in the trailer, and then I read some of the synopsis of it. And I wanted to know, how come the producers, or did they ever run this across you? How come the producers never told their story about when your father went to the Appalachian Mountains to help the white people out there?
Mr. Azalette, thank you for your call. Even just to mention, listen, this we had to do a lot of. I don't know if you heard the earlier in the beginning of the show. I was talking about there have been a number of different attempts in regards to, you know what I'm saying, a movie. And let me tell you who I, you know, some things that impacted my decision on how we move with information about Chairman Fred the Black Panther Party. I'm about 12 years old, and they had tried to bring this book deal to my mother, and our gas was cut off. One of the cold ones, our gas was cut off, and I recall they bring the proposition to her, and she said no, because they're trying to make the police the protect the hero, you know what I'm saying? And I remember I said, well, so if you do it, the heat will be back on in the house, and she man, the same commitment she had when she covered down over her comrade her husband, Chairman Fred, when the police shot her 99 rounds, over 99 rounds in the house, that same commitment was then and still stands today. So that's the cloth I'm cut from. We have been, there have been attempts to go around us. There have been, again, raise up individuals that may have been in the party, around the party. You know what I'm saying? In other words, they have been trying, they like doing a movie about the Super Bowl, and they go out and interview somebody that was at a tailgate party outside. They have just, so this latest attempt, and a lot of people don't, Jack Nicholson carries in a few good men. A lot of people, they don't want the truth. So let's be clear with that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, they not, so it's a battle to put the political peel, the Panther political peel in the applesauce to get, you know what I'm saying, to get the conversation going. One of the things we're going to be having with this in regards to this movie is a podcast. You know what I'm saying? I will be going point by point, you know, addressing a lot of the struggles, the contradictions that was on there, you know what I'm saying, that we had. The principal struggles we had, you know what I'm saying? But there's no way, and there was a lot, you just mentioned, I didn't see all, I don't know which clips did you see in particular, but people say, can Hollywood tell the truth about Chairman Fred? No, it's not. It's incapable, but the deal is, how can we do what we do? Like when I go, you know, I go to the churches, the mosques, I will use any arena that we can use, you know what I'm saying, that don't use us. Reverend Nat Turner used the church as a tool. So,
Chairman, give me 1 second. Somebody's getting in the car, everybody's moving around. So please, guys, please mute your mic. I got 5 mics open now. I still hear it. Just mute your mic. We know you're getting in the car, so just mute yourself because we can hear it. I apologize for the interruption.
No problem.
Chairman, please continue.
No problem.
Also got Attorney Gadget.
Okay.
The call. And Derek Muhammad, we're still waiting for you.
Fred.
We had to do a lot of damage control. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say this too. It's a combination of nefarious as well as naivety. You know what I'm saying? It's you have to manage, because just with the attack on the Black Panther Party, they came out with bogus movies. A lot of people's parents were scared to tell the truth about the Black Panther Party. So the deal is we have to recognize this climate right now, in which I think Judge Joe Brown was talking about even earlier. I'm talking this climate in regards to even with the Trump, in addition to the coronavirus, it's a climate now where the ante has to be up. You know what I'm saying? And so we have to push. You know what I'm saying? Push as much of the politics as we can to these different arenas. But man, you also a lot of stuff like even that. You speaking about the Rainbow Coalition with Chairman Fred organized. A lot of people with that trailer was dead alone. They're like, man, I didn't know he done that. A lot of people have been so misinformed. No, excuse me, have been lied to so much. They believe that the public school just started a free breakfast program. They believe Reverend Jesse Jackson started the Rainbow Coalition. So you have to be careful even also with your information. Remember them 12, 14 white children they found starving in the mountains in California somewhere? They had found about 12 children. They hadn't eaten. They was real. They was fat. They hadn't eaten for a long period of time. They was being starved. A lot of people was like, man, feed them. And the doctor say, wait a minute. You can't force too much food on them. You'll kill them. You got to drop some water. A lot of these cats ain't had no. You show them white. You show Chairman Fred organizing them cats, white folks. A lot of them can't even see him being the vanguard party. You know, they can't even see it. Listen, even on this movie, a lot of cats could not fathom. I told some people, I said, listen, man, we went down on the movie set. I said, we going down. I told cats, I said, come on, we going down here, man. They filmed, they know the movie. We went down on the set. A lot of cats didn't believe it. Oh, Chairman, you can't. Hollywood ain't gonna lie to. A lot of people, that's too. They brain are overdose. They can't. It's like you telling them this rooster beat up this elephant. It's unconscionable. They can't even fathom that. So even the Rainbow Coalition, you had to go step by step for a lot of cats. They can't believe it. Man, I done had to do so much damage control with these different revisionists of books. You know what I'm saying? Bogus books and all the Rainbow people just came together. Ain't no, just don't come together. It was Chairman Fred made it very clear. Man, with the Black Panther Party, the Vanguard Party. It wasn't no egotistical thing. He ain't had to say it. He didn't say it. It was man, laid out and put in the context of the situation. And it wasn't no that they better than this other group. And they also fight for self-determination. Where you was only on your own community. But you try to put some stuff in a movie too much, man, you got to go. Just since the trailer came out, it's been so much conversations that I have, there's been people who I know, I told one guy, I said, man, you can say Chairman Fred now. I said, white folks done told you can say it. I pushed for it in the movie. I pushed for it. That title, you think that's just by coincidence in there? I pushed for this here because this is not no rag. Automatically, if I told average cat, hey man, Professor such and such, Reverend such and such, Chairman Fred, they're gonna say Professor, they're gonna say Reverend, they're gonna say Fred. They have no faith of acknowledging the organization that stood up on its own turn, and you're saying, and they say, no, we, man, this is assassination. Not, you know what I'm saying? Not the lawyers who everybody be talking about these great white hoes. The lawyers said, don't touch the crime scene. Man, the Black Panther Party, you got us confused, Jack. Open them doors up. Freezing cold, December the 5th. Come see for yourself what happened.
Chairman Fred.
Sorry, we got a lot of dead air. Yeah, you guys.
Yes, sir.
Chairman Fred.
Yes, sir.
Hold on one second. Somebody is ignoring me, so y'all are going to force me to close the mic. I still hear someone getting in their car and also shuffling around. Please mute your mics if you're not speaking. If you guys don't mind doing that for me,
I'm muted.
I'm going to have to do it for you.
That's me. I'm muted, so
Yeah.
I just unmuted. Let me ask you a question here, Chairman.
Yes, sir.
I see LGBT is trying to name and claim. What's that all about?
They trying to do what, Judge? They trying to do what? Name and claim?
The, LGBTQ is trying to name and claim on this upcoming production.
Hold on. No, hold on. Bring me up to speed on that. Okay, what they saying?
In other words, LGBTQ is trying to claim that the Panther Party was not in the regular vanguard, but was in the vanguard of promoting LGBTQ. And I know that's bull.
Well, you
want to speak on that particular thing?
Malcolm gave an analogy about the March on Washington. He said, initially that was organized by the masses of people. He said the ruling class, the Kennedys, they said, we say stop it. And he said, we can't stop it, let's co-opt it. Let's water it down. Let's make it something to be. My recent memory, every other day is different. Well, is this the Occupy movement? Let's try that. Well, what about this? Is this the Black Panther Party? So it's a continuous attempt. First to say, don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I done got suspended from school for even saying Black Panther Party. I done got put in isolation in the penitentiary for having a picture of Chairman Fred. So they say they can't stop it. Let's co-opt it, water it down. So we approach this a number of different ways. It's like one time, I'm about 12, 13 years old. I'm about 14. So the sister say, this guy named Scotty running around saying he's Chairman Fred's son. So I grabbed up on, I catch him. I say, man, you telling Cat you the chairman's son? He say, brother, I'm Honorable Elijah Muhammad's son. I'm Chairman Larry Hoover's son. I'm Chief Malief's son. I said, no, I'm not talking about that type of way. I'm talking like who your mother had a relationship with. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean by who you saying. He said, oh, I didn't mean no disrespect. I said, no. I actually was hoping. I was hoping that you was a sibling of mine. I was hoping. He said, why is that? I said, man, the heat that come with this here. See, cats romanticize this stuff. Oh, leather jackets, berets. Man, they put the cables on these cats and leave them on a bungee rope. But I know the heat that come with this here. A lot of people romanticize revolution. They start putting, there's so many bogus groups, they never had to, man, they call them pop-up stores now. Every other time, one time, man, I'm in Menard Penitentiary. This dude, he drawing these envelopes with Panthers all on them. So I come down, I say, man, I can do that. I said, okay. Man, they came and got him out there and said, dude, I'm down here now. They know we ain't playing. So when the conditions, as Marcus Garvey say, when all else fails to organize the people, conditions will. It's gonna be so hot in this kitchen. So if they want to play like you can't bring them. They gonna keep on trying. The conditions gonna cut and a lot of times I let certain stuff sit for a while to see what flies. I watch who attracted, who believes what. It's so many places I know about that I ain't been to just because you can tell me what organizations are taken seriously there. It's so many individuals I meet you. You start naming certain people. Those are context clues. Sometimes I let certain stuff move and say, okay, that's a warning sign. And it told me right there. You consider this the Black Panther Party? Okay, okay. So sometimes you need these different warning signs and see who it's people that you know what I'm saying? You watch who they relate to. You watch what they consider valid. You know what I'm saying? So it's a pro and a con to it. Because let the record reflect. It's a definition for the Black Panther Party. It's a platform. It's an agenda. And even when there was internal conflict, notice I ain't say no split. I said internal contradictions. And you know what I'm saying? They was able to say, no, that's a Black Panther house. The way he walked, the way he talked. I'll be going to some of these places. I'll be like, you saying that's the Panther Party? You said, man. So that's them told me not only about the and see. I don't switch the terms around too. Now the time we say people trying to claim the fame, say no, whoa. You say, oh, here come Chairman Fred Jones. He come with the schematics. No. I don't say the government let drugs in the community. We say they bring them in here. We don't say a lot of people try to claim. We say the state puts them there. Like when the uprisings go up, when the news get on TV, we are the African American leaders. That's code words. That's code word. All right, bring in the political firemen, bring in the water hoses, the columnists, the real deal down. So they bring them in. They don't be on their own. They couldn't do nothing on their own. Massa bring these different Negroes, bring them out to people. Say, okay, I'm gonna send you out there. I'm gonna fund you. I'm gonna back you. I'm gonna give you airtime. You know what I'm saying? Every time a commercial come up, I'm gonna have your organization name up there, though. You know what I'm saying? But the conditions get to the point of, hey man, the people start saying, you can't just, hey man, we want the real deal, man. Where the meat and potatoes at? Oh man, we just freeing our mind. No. They out here killing us out here, man. We ain't gonna keep playing these word games, y'all. We need the real deal. You know what I'm saying? So the conditions are so intense, man. You got 50, 60 murders every weekend in Chicago. You can't bring no counterfeit, no fraud concepts to these cats. They ain't hearing it. They bring them cats to Chicago. Them youngsters, hey man, what's your relationship with Chairman Fred, the Black Panther Party Cubs? They done tried it. They done created groups up here that wear the same type of uniform, the hat we wear, try to talk like me, everything. Man, the people, they have to get their claws sharp. They have to, you know what I'm saying? That's training ground. That's training ground. You have, a lot of these cats, you have to go through, we come up, you know what I'm saying? You know your relationships, you gotta get your heart broken. You know, a lot of these cats ain't had no concept of that. This is necessary. This is necessary in struggle to be able, we trying to, as Che Guevara said, to create the new man, the new woman, up the ante. That the people themselves can be able to pick out, even when they take me out the game. Even when they take us out the game. The people say, no, man, that's this, man. That's the real deal. They tried in the 60s, trying to create counterfeit organizations and hijack the agenda. And you watched who went along with it. You watched. It was your, you said, okay.
Okay, hold on let me interrupt 1 second, Jeremy. Let me say specifically, LGBTQ is putting it out on social media that your father and a lot of other members of the Black Panther Party were LGBTQ. And that's what they're trying to claim, and that doesn't match my recollection. Again,
I'm real careful what I get life to. If Mike Tyson come knock somebody out, that puts in their resume that they're a boxer. I'm real careful. A lot of cats be back there. You gotta put some skin in the game. It's all type of little cats be, man, you know, I was a Panther. I was a.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No. It's like I've told people that that's not what the Black Panther Party was about 50 years ago. It was not pushing LGBTQ, but they are trying to claim now that it was. So,
and I'm saying, Judge, the people that you got to tell it.
They don't seem to want to hear to me.
Because sometimes,
they don't want to hear me.
Judge, a lot of times questions are really statements. The people that you got to tell that to, go back and see what's their agenda. See, a lot of times people trying to push
yeah, I know what their agenda is. They are LGBTQ.
Yeah, but even the people
on that Rainbow Coalition thing to try and say that's what it
No. I'm saying
but see, I know they co-opted that term.
But you watch also
every damn thing. But you watch phrases and co-opt them in terms and crap.
It's certain things, Judge. It's certain things that I don't care what you it's certain things that you got to, that's all I'm saying, Judge. I watch also who gives life, who believes. It's certain, show me somewhere in their theory, like it's certain, the police take us in two different rooms. And they say, man, dude told me so you like, I don't care what he told you. That's not his MO. It's certain people be lying about me. Yeah, man, Chad.
Okay, well, what I'm just saying is
you want me?
Inference, your answer is no.
You want me to see, Judge? You want me? First of all, Judge, I tell people ain't no cliff notes in Cub class. We have to win the people that a lot of people they want to react. See, they want a McDonald's meal. They want yes and no.
That's not quite what I'm talking about. I have told people over and over
The Black Panther Party.
The 1960s was not LGBTQ. It wasn't close to it.
No.
Didn't give a damn about
And
it.
I'm saying, who?
That's what I'm saying.
What in the resume make them? What in their resume? What can they?
They don't have to. Look, hold on. I'm
Yeah.
not disagreeing with you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that the lie, if told long enough and loud enough, will have everybody believing it, or too many believing it. The lie is destroyed by the truth. So,
Man.
for a number of reasons, some people don't want to go for what
And
I'm telling them when I said, no, these folk are lying to you when they tell you that. They're trying to remake history, come up with revisionist bullshit history.
Cause somebody come,
try to make a claim that ain't valid.
Cause somebody come to my judge and say, man, I heard Donald Trump was a black man.
I got you. All I'm saying is I just need a second on somebody saying that's bullshit.
Man.
When they make that claim that the party was LGBTQ.
Hey, I'm offended that I'm saying I'm offended that I got to lower the bar to have a reactionary thing. The Black Panther Party was a revolutionary organization. When I was in the penitentiary, nobody asked me, was you homosexual, chairman? My manhood was never questioned. It's never.
Well, I got you. All I'm saying is these scoundrels, these little ratchet cupcakes, are trying to go out and co-opt our history.
They can let them bring all the attention. Let them bring all the attention when they come. Let them bring all the attention. Let the conversation.
Oh, yeah, I got you.
Bring all your audiences. Bring all your audiences. Listen, this movie, I've been trying to hold my tongue. Bring all your audiences. I'm so confident in this path of politics. I know the black, man, not to sound sacrilegious, revolution is my religion. People, well, was it this, was it that? Come on.
Chairman, I think what he just wants to.
I know the judge won't.
Second demotion that the women did not spearhead it, because that was one of the rumors, and that it is not a gay movement. It was not spearheaded by. Out of love and infiltrated by.
Who founded the Black Panther?
In other words, I say that's bullshit when they make that claim. I say it's bullshit when they make that claim. Do you say it's bullshit?
I say it's. I'm gonna go and resort to it.
People that went through it?
I'm gonna go one time. I'm gonna go and resort to this here. No, it was not. But I'm offended that we got the law to bar. I'm saying we got to stop doing that, Judge.
I understand that. Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Gonna deal with revolution, you got to deal with motivating the peasants to lift themselves up.
They got to lift up. Nobody never asked me in the penitentiary what I was on.
What you have to do is you have to, as Mao said, anytime you confront inaccuracy, untruth, or error, you must correct it. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, no way, that's not what anything was about back then 50 years ago. That's all I'm saying. Do you agree with that proposition? Irrespective of the foolishness of the people that make the contrary claim.
I'm gonna say I agree, but I'm gonna say this too, Judge. I was in a location one time, and my comrade told me, Chairman, I heard you. You can be reactionary sometimes too. I said, no, I had to speak them niggas' language. I'm gonna go and say this here, man. No, it was not. And I'm offended again. No, if somebody asked me in the penitentiary what I was on, I would have to lower the bar, but I will lower the bar this time, man. No, that was not. I agree with you. That was not the agenda of the Black Panther. The Black Panther Party was a revolutionary organization, and I'm saying, when do we get to the point? Let me add this too, not to be difficult with the question. Man, the law, the legacy. The government told you what it is. You got the COINTEL program tell you what it was.
Yeah, here's all I'm saying is let me just say this. Here's what I'm saying. If you Google it, 1970, Huey P. Newton, the woman's liberation and gay rights, the founder, they try to claim him. LGBTQLI, Huey P. Newton and the Black Panther Party.
That's not it.
You're looking back at the Black Panther Party's promotion of gay rights. See, that was bullshit, but that's what they're putting on Google.
Judge,
see where I'm going?
I hear you, Judge. It was an individual. It was some people that said it was some people.
And see, everybody believed this bullshit on Google.
And so you're right. I hear you, Judge.
Everybody
I hear you.
believes it.
Some people said I was not Chairman Fred's son, Judge. Some people, it's somebody that was in the black community that said this before. Now, they don't know, you know what I'm saying? Now, how I dealt with that, I was real careful. How, you know what I'm saying, how I gave that life. It's a fact. The police they tell you who I am. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of people say I wasn't a political prisoner. But I'll go again, I will yield and say no for those who have, I'm also telling them, do a little basic research. A basic research. Nobody can tell you Donald Trump was a black man. A basic research on the Black Panther Party. That was not the agenda. Basic, that's all I'm saying. So I agree with you. So I would say that, but it pains me. It pains me. It pains me. The deal is, it's like, ain't no people, like a lot of organizations say, Chairman, do you got a beef with this? Ain't no damn beef with a lot of these motherfuckers, man. Excuse me, I'm just kidding. Ain't no beef. I'm very careful what I give life to. You know what I'm saying? It's a million different bogus organizations and bogus agendas that they come up and try to say, man, this is what the Black Panther Party was about. We have to get to the point that we stand up on our, we stand up and all that, you know what I'm saying, who we give life to. But I will yield and good to go for the record. No, that was not the agenda. I agree with you, Judge. That was not the agenda.
Can I ask
All right,
question?
so Judge, let's. Yes, there we go. I want to bring in, we got Gavin and Derek.
You must
an opportunity.
Chairman Mao Zedong, Judge, Judge, mind you, at the stage in the game that Chairman Mao Zedong, the climate, how the Kuomintang was even viewed. You know what I'm saying? See, we talk about different dynamics. You have to put in the deal is, like that was a struggle about, like, even with Che Guevara with the Foucault theory. A lot of people took the Foucault theory and tried to apply it to the situation. You're right, we gotta confirm the truth. However, at the same time, we have to heighten the conscience of our people. It's, you know what I'm saying, heighten the contradictions to the point that the people, and also you weed out, because a lot of them questions the people are asking is something dormant in them. You know, it's not even a question. We have to say, look, come on out, man. You really, that's not no question. You're really trying to push an agenda. Not you, Judge, but a lot of the people. You know what I'm saying? And like, I told people on the movie set one time, I said, listen, man.
But Chairman, this is why it's so important for you to address that. And that is because you have a lot of young listeners, a lot of young, impressionable minds that don't know the truth. So whatever Google suggests or says, or whatever is the dominant thought, that is what is going to be believed.
And you know,
as much as it lowers the standard,
and you know what we gotta do? You know what we gotta do?
Against your belief system, you're going to have to.
No, you know we have to start doing. You know we have to start doing to young people. You know we have to start doing to young people. What I do? You know what we have to start doing to young people? We have to force them to my office, to the streets. We have to say, listen, Chairman Mao, let's quote Chairman Mao Zedong, Judge. No investigation, no right to speak. It was a climate. No investigation, no right to speak.
Can I say something,
yes,
Chairman?
Yes.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you, even with me as I listen to you, and I think also this is something that our callers are experiencing, is kind of a double Dutch kind of thing going on here, but you're so passionate and aggressive that, you know, these little iPhone, they're really, really soft and feminized. So you're going to definitely have to find a way to segue and speak to them, to get them to you, because the message is so abrasive that I think it's almost like a scare tactic. You know what I'm saying? Like they would be afraid to really address and approach. So we're going to have to find a way to really. Let me.
Okay. You're right. It's a certain amount of passion, and people, a lot of people. You're right. The tone, everything, and I'm dealing with a client. But I'm gonna say this though. Hey, let me say this. I'm not gonna compromise. One time, this guy. One time. I think we lowered the bar of what our people are capable of doing. One time, I told. I was with Mark one time. And I seen, no, I don't say that, I don't get an example. People say, Chairman, you use words, and you be coming kind of hard. The brain can remember Lil Wayne's rap lyrics. It can remember football stats and facts. It can remember all that. Once we hold, if I drop y'all off in Mexico tonight, I guarantee you by the morning, it's certain words you're going to know what to say and what not to say. Your survival depends on it. We have to, when people come into a mosque, they know to take their shoes off. They know it's certain things that say, oh, that's not that, that's not this. I'm this genre of a revolutionary. We'll have to fight. We have to up the ante to say, listen, you have to, you have to be, it's a certain amount of defense mechanisms that they have to, and it's going, and it hurts to say this, it's going to be some thin of the herd. It's going to be some thin of the herd. It's going, in struggle. I tell our people, you can't be breastfeeding people all their life. You know what I'm saying? We have to say, listen, the ante has to be up. There's a certain, when people call me for interviews, I say, listen, man, they be talking, oh man, blah. I say, hold on, do some basic research. Basic research on what you're saying. They got Google, they got all that type of stuff. It's certain things, you like you going to a lounge. You say, hold on, man. The police pull you over, you say, hold on. I know this.
But Chairman, that's what Judge was saying. Google is saying something different than you're saying. Do you understand? Even if they
saying something
Googled it,
different than the truth.
we need to.
And we have to use, and they have to
hear it from
and sometimes
because Google is whitewashing
yes.
the truth and also changing Wikipedia. People can update that. A lie is being produced by way of Google searches.
You know what? You know after Google, you know what you
hear from these sources.
You know what? You know what? Me and Paul had the same struggle. Now, you know what comes at some point after the computer, after Google. At some point, the rubber meets the road. At some point, they have to cut some conditions. See. Garvey said with all their thoughts, all this. At some point, when all them killings in Chicago, a lot of them children be on internet murder mouth with each other on the internet, on social media. At some point, they come outside and come into contact with each other. At some point, they say, man, are you a real gangster or not? At some point, all I'm saying is, I want this movement to the point that they say, I'm not going to be dibbling, dabbling, and validating every damn reaction. It's offensive to me. This is my religion. It's certain things you say about Islam. And they say, man, the pork industry is saying that they like eat pork on Wednesday. A Muslim is gonna be offended. He gonna say, hey man, what Google is saying, man did this shit, man. It's certain women. They might say, well, all women is this. A real woman, she gonna say, I'm offended that you even brought that to me. What Google said, that's how you supposed to talk to her. You supposed to call you this and that. She gonna be like, you done told me about you. You ain't no real man. The fact that you brought it to her like that. But
Chairman, I just want to say this before I allow the other callers to ask you a question. I just want to say this. The reason why the quarantine wasn't foreign to a lot of people is we are a social media generation, right? We don't talk to each other. We don't get out.
They learn it now.
That's what I'm saying. To quarantine, our whole life is
yes.
a big old quarantine. That was actually normal.
Yes.
So to be out on the streets and protesting, no. Right now you are up against keyboard gangsters who think that their First Amendment, their constitutional rights is to be able to hit a like button or to leave something in the comment section.
Yes.
They're not going out there protesting. They're not going to get their hands dirty. And if they do that, they're all networking and having a good time and totally forget the entire movement, which is what we saw starting in Minneapolis. Was it Minneapolis or Minnesota? Minnesota with the George Floyd. So that's all I'm saying.
What's making them?
I'm learning so much.
What's making them?
Saying, like, I can't wait to get
What's making them respect?
People need to hear the truth.
What's making them respect the quarantine? What's making a lot of them people respect the quarantine now? The coronavirus now.
This whole lifestyle is normal because kids don't get outside.
What's making?
So the quarantine was sort of like a timeout.
But what's making a lot of people who didn't believe in coronavirus? What's making a lot of them respect it now?
What's making
Chairman, too many
death and police.
Believe what they want to do, like
what
religion.
and they dying. And what's making Judge? What's making them taking this stuff? What's making them?
Well, hold on, everybody. We're talking over everybody at the time. Valerie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chairman, death is making them respect it.
Yes.
Okay,
so
let
the
everybody's talking over everybody.
Okay.
Stop.
All right.
Chairman, your show. Reply.
I'm saying. Okay. I'm saying. Listen. I'm saying this. Let anybody, whether it be the LGBTQ, whether it be the Occupy movement, I'm not gonna name some of these other groups. Let them keep playing these Panther games. When them cases come down and he come down, they have the.
I'm sorry, Chairman. We got that background noise
Okay.
again. Oh my God.
Okay.
People, just mute yourself, please, if you know you got background noise. Okay, I'm sorry. It went away.
You're talking to a person who's like been through a lot of damaged relationships. It's been a lot of attempts to hijack this legacy. This ain't the first time. This ain't the first. It ain't gonna be the last one. There were groups that they brought when they tried to say this the Black Panther Party. Now I didn't give them no energy, no life. Now when he came down on them, they came and denounced me. They say no, Chairman Fred different. I'm saying if I respond to if you talk to a person like a woman who's been in damaged relationships, and every time I get, is that your husband? Is that your children? She say, listen, man, I'm offended that you even asked me as I'm dealing with that dude. Did you look at me? You know what I'm saying? That could cut some fair from me. Well, Google say, okay, I'm saying at some point reality hits in and says, hey, this is. It's people who call me and say, man, I thought you was on something different, man. They had a press conference with a group called Ceasefire one time. The young brother said, we and Chairman do the same thing. That night, their funding got cut. He said, man, I didn't know that you, I didn't have to say nothing. He came back the next day and said, man, we different. All these, man, they got Kaepernick, he a black. Oh, I'm not tripping. Keep on playing these Panther games. I know the reality. They gonna deny, man, the heat, because what's happening is, this heat. So, and I'm also watching who goes along, because there's certain basic dynamics, and you have to, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna close with this. Google, you right, but at some point, the people who have to say, listen, I have to deal with the real world. I told Nas, a famous hip hop artist, I said, man, you will do some phone sex, but you ain't gonna really get down with nothing, you know what I'm saying? That's what they do. And the people have to start up in the ante. People say, man, you want to become a Panther Cub? Well, yeah, I read this book. No, that's good. Get out there in the community, man. Triple C's. Come out there in the streets. So the people, I tell a lot of people, I keep my child in the house, we have to face some conditions. You know what I'm saying? We can't keep breastfeeding people all the time, grown people. But I will, again, if that, or I yield and say, okay, that's what you want, so be it. But we serving long-term meals. This microwave meal ain't gonna keep happening. we cooking onions in the kitchen. And I'm passionate about it because no other entity do we have to do that. No other entity do that. They say it's a given. Hey man, hold on, man. The pork industry said on Google that they won't. Hold on, man. They're telling me that you really ain't no Muslim, man. Or you have not even did a basic assessment. It's a certain the Panthers. It's a certain way that we walk. So the government know it. The government they know who playing, who faking. Judge Joe Brown, you know who January 17, 1969, who they came and assassinated, who houses got kicked in, who they didn't attack. But people talk, they all on the same thing.
That I do.
Yeah.
You just need to get the cupcakes to know.
Hey, no, some of them cupcakes.
I want to remind everybody, guys, it's possible, hold on 1 second, Chairman, it's possible we might get cut off in 15 minutes or it might allow us to go into overtime. Chairman, I want to give you about 45 seconds to a minute to wrap up what you're saying, and then I am going to grab
I'm good.
Attorney Gavin and Derek to see if they have something
I'm good.
they'd like to say to you before we get cut off.
I'm good. Okay, I'm good. I'm good.
You said you're good?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I appreciate you and definitely
appreciate y'all.
Proud to be black in this moment.
Right on.
Attorney Gavin and Derek Muhammad, can you guys please ask your question at this time?
Okay, I'll start first. Good evening to the panel and everyone, especially to you, Chairman Hampton. Let me just start off. I'm doing fine, sir. How you doing, Judge? I just wanted to first off say that I have great respect for your father, and he was a legend, among our community, and I'm grateful that at least he's being more recognized, I guess, in the mainstream culture. I did have a question about the movie. Someone had raised it already, but there's been, I guess, controversy with regards to people complaining about the casting of the gentleman that's playing your father, who is the brother that was in Get Out. And I wanted to know, I think there's controversy rather is that they wanted to see a foundational Black American play Fred Hampton. I just wanted to know, because you were a consultant on the film from what I understood, what were your thoughts on Daniel's portrayal of your father and just your thoughts on that in general, if you can?
Okay, again, we had came, and I'm only a consultant. I do a lot of damage control too. So I give the background too. We had worked on a movie on Chairman Freshman years ago ourselves, in which we had Mos Def slated to play Chairman. We had Robin Allen later raised to play my mom's, and we, you know what I'm saying. This is the first time. It was more of an independent project we working on. Now, as far as I have concerns. It's a legitimate concern that many people are, not just in regards to this piece about. You see different dynamics about. I think the Harriet Tubman movie, and a number of other movies that people say. Yeah. Right. The people, it's a concern. People say, well, why are people from other outside of the diaspora? You know what I'm saying? Different, you know what I'm saying? And I think. My initial thing is like, even I know like when you show I think it's a tactic too. No, this is no slight on the actors or what have you. To like this is in any regards to anything to a disconnect, because sometimes like something is too close, it may garner some, some people can relate to it directly. Say, well, the movie industry is extremely powerful. In fact, I had commented to the producer Ryan Cooley and also Daniel Kalia. I said, now this big screen is so powerful. It's gonna be people who actually saying that's his father. Because this here we go again. This is some people's first time ever even seeing something close to Chairman Fred. It's speeches in there that I had to fight and say, no, that's not the speech. You know what I'm saying? But you marry what you're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? It's an entertainment industry. You know what I'm saying? So it's about the deal is to get the conversation going. Also to acknowledge. That this you'll be tit for tat with everyone who there, and at some point you have to be some self-criticism. Say, why is this my first time? Why is this my first concept of hearing hearing about this struggle? But let me say this too about more in depth to the question. The dialogue. It's going to be a whole movie. It can be a whole movie made about the making of the movie. I'm talking about the meetings we had, the late night. I mean. When even with the late night to go to the hood, the community, Daniel Kalia, Dominique Fishback, who's portraying my mother, it's a whole that podcast gonna be talking about that too. It's a whole nother stories involved in that. It's another movie that they're talking about that we're gonna be challenging. This is probably about the Chicago 8. They call it Chicago 7. You know what I'm saying? But they dismissed the role of then Chairman Bobby Seale being chained and gagged in court. This is the Democratic Convention, 1968. Now, it's word that they have an individual who's supposed to be portraying Chairman Fred in that movie, who we have not talked to. We have had no dialogue. Who Aaron, what's the guy's name? Produced this. I can't get his name right now. Now, the individual who they have. Say it again. Yeah, Aaron Sorkin. That's a different. That's a different piece. Now that actor Kevin, what's the actor? Charles. The guy Kevin, the guy who they put in for to portray Chairman Fred. He's supposed to be now. He's from New Orleans. That's his home base, New Orleans. Now the contradictions be asked also. How was it Daniel Kalia, whose homeland Uganda, home base London? How was it that we had, dialogue with him, but no dialogue with this individual that's in New Orleans? Now if I'm correct, it's geographically, New Orleans is closer to us, you know what I'm saying? So if that's the only criteria you're talking about, and first of all, I tinge at the word Black American because I'm a victim of America, you know what I'm saying? But if that's the only, I come with, the deal is some political unity with the, you know what I'm saying? So this person who's, if that's all the bar is, just him by him, you know what I'm saying, that by them being in the United States, that's some people like affirmative action. It just got to be a woman because it's a woman. You got to be just an older person because the older.
Chairman.
Yes, sir.
It's agenda. It's agenda. All of Hollywood has a pretty uniform agenda, and they use their entertainment to press the agenda.
Mm-hmm.
While the Panther Party and radicalism was going on in the black community, another community was plotting the use of and control of the media and the entertainment industry to push their agenda. I heard them plot it out more than 50 years ago, and they've been good at carrying it out. It's a sick agenda, but they're pushing it.
I agree.
Hollywood is going to try and push that agenda and use history to falsify it and try to make it fit in with their agenda and push it.
Now, I agree. So we got to do it.
Hey, Judge, while you're on that, Chairman, Layla, she wanted to piggyback on that.
Okay.
She wanted to second your Layla's her name, 312.
Okay.
523. Before you guys segue too far from that, Judge, she wanted to answer to that, give you an answer to that as well. Welcome, Layla, to the show, 312-523. Yes, ma'am. Thank you for having me. Free them all, Chairman.
Free them all. Free them all. Free them all,
I just wanted to say that Chairman Fred, he can't always justify a lot of it's a whole lot of what you call like fly-by-night revolutionaries right now. You can see even with these protests, first the streets were filled with protesters, then there's hardly no protesters. Now the protesters that are out there are like what I call professional protesters. They have training classes, they have a script, they are financed. So for him to try to answer all of these, they're making many allegations and claims. It will lessen the fight that we already have going on. And I say we because my parents were in the Black Panther Party. We are trying to, Chairman works every single day trying to defend the legacy of his father, which is also for all of us, for all of the Panther Cubs. And it's not just the LGBTQ. It's what you guys are talking about now. It's Hollywood. It's this. It's that. It's another group calling them. I won't even give you their names of what they're calling themselves. So it's going on all around. Now, if he starts being an ambulance chaser or a fire department, and he'll never get anything done. And we need him focused on this mission. There's no standing structure in Chicago that is representative of the Chairman Fred or the Black Panther Party, which came to be the largest chapter in the party. So that's why I just wanted to come in so that he doesn't feel like, or you guys don't think that he should be the one to justify whatever is going on. Now, the rest of us, I'll do a search. I'll see what's out there. I'll see whoever else wants to make a statement on behalf of the party, but I don't think that's his role, and we don't want him to take on that role. That's all I wanted to give my piece on that.
Free them all.
Appreciate you. Does anyone free them all?
Right on. And I. This is like I say. I failed. They put me in my English high school, fourth year English high school, because the teacher said I was speaking incorrect English. I always said us and we. He brought the principal down to say you speaking. I said no, it's us and we. When I'm talking about the legacy, when I'm talking about this organization, it's a defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying, for our people. And I'm real, and I know, and like I say, it's certain moves I give life to. I'm real strategic. You know what I'm saying. And I'm passionate about this here. You know what? And I've seen, and mind you, in my office, I got to contend with people who are passionate about streets, who are passionate about music. I'm passionate about the people. I'm passionate about this politics. I've seen what it done for me. You know, and a judge, just like some of you that said, Judge, about I'm clear. The reason, Norfolk Railroad, every week they drop automatic weapons into these children's arms. I know the purpose of the guns being dropped there. I'm clear the purpose of the music industry. The deal is, Reverend Nat Turner was clear that the purpose of the church was to make the docile slave. However, as Minister U.E.P. Newton said, we must, as organizers, and for fighting for power, power is the ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner. A case example, Reverend Nat Turner was a realist. He said, okay, the church is here. Let me define this and make it, and praise the Lord past ammunition. Harriet Tubman, the purpose of Negro spirituals was to keep us docile. She said, no, I'm gonna take this phenomenon. In New Orleans, the purpose of the second line was to make us party. I'm gonna put the street in Chicago, the street organizations, what the purpose was to make us fight and kill each other. Chairman Fred said, I'm gonna define this, make organizations of people. Minister U.E.P. Newton redefined that movie Sweetback's Badass Song by Melvin Van Peebles. Because as a realist, we say, we know, we recognize this the purpose, but where are the people at? We have to go into the minds and the hearts of the people, armed with a politic. And I don't recommend everybody do it. I don't recommend everybody eat Chinese food because they can't do it. In the penitentiary, they had a joke about me. They say Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. go to the Muslim service, the Black Stone meeting, the Black Disciple meeting, the Vice Lord meeting, and still come out Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. Any entity they raise up to continue to take this, any entity they bring to take this legacy, believe me. I told my sister comrades yesterday, it was an interview, and they try to bring some other groups to continue with this legacy of the Black Panther Party. I say, man, I've been trapped in rooms of 4 or 5 states attorneys. Still come out, Chairman Fred. This politics.
Gotcha. And Chairman Fred, hold on one second, because at this time I'd like to officially wrap the Just Around show. We are now going into overtime. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. This is the Just Around show. I'm Valerie Denise Jones, 929-477-1167. Appreciate you guys so much.
I appreciate y'all.
Please hang out as we try and venture into these last few minutes. Depending on how much time Blog Talk affords us. So that is it. Wish you guys a happy weekend. Please make sure that you join us on our website, social media. Please make sure that you leave a comment at thejudgearoundshow.com. Judge, if you'd like to take the last 60 seconds to say something to wrap up the show, I would appreciate that. And then I'm going to toss it back to Chairman Fred to see if he has anything else to say based on his time schedule.
Yes, ma'am.
Judge?
This is Judge Joe Brown. I'm glad you could be here, everybody. And you can get me at Judge Joe Brown TV, and I do not have a blue check. So anyway, we're going to keep going until they cut us off. But this is what we have to do for officials, for editing purposes, so Miss Valerie doesn't have to work too hard. Mm-hmm. But Chairman,
yes,
Mr.
sir.
Chairman,
yes, sir.
We're still going because we may get something out of this we can use.
Yes, sir.
One thing I wanted to make as a comment, when you're dealing with people who have not elevated their minds and they're caught up into the artificial, one thing we who have thought about these things forget is that they do not know what we know. They have not studied what we've studied. They have not experienced what we experienced. And sometimes we speak in terms that we make unwarranted assumptions about them knowing or being familiar with.
Yes.
So that's why I was asking you to kind of break some of this stuff down. I've heard this.
Yes.
It's good.
Yes.
It's good dialogue for those who have become elevated, but for those who are still down at the bottom, sometimes we got to break it down a little bit.
Right on. Yes, sir.
They understand, because like you said, they're paying attention to the stats on basketball.
Yes.
They're paying attention to what's going on some sitcom or some reality TV show with some heathens on it.
Yeah.
And they don't get it. So
yes.
We have to elevate their mind so they start getting prepared to make social change. They've been asleep for 50 years.
And
hey, Judge.
Yes. Yeah.
Good.
Let me. Who is that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm listening. I just put myself on mute, but I'm listening.
Yes,
you got that right. Hey, Chairman Fred.
Yes, sir.
And look, brother, we had a great show Monday, and I'm just glad I was able to bring you to this platform.
I'm glad. I look.
You've been reading that stuff.
I look forward to come back. Let me say this. I have no problem. I appreciate both. I thank y'all, the judge, the opportunity so much. In order for, I think a necessary ingredient for it to be.
And thank you to Jasmine too. Thank you, Jasmine. I forgot.
Right on. Yes, indeed. A necessary ingredient for education, to learn something, is a certain amount of humbleness. People like, I have no issue with ignorance. My issue is arrogance and ignorance. A lot of times it's premature to talk, to even have it's stuff that people can't even hear now. That they can hear now, that I said before. And it's a certain dynamic they come into other entities. When they come up in that courtroom, Judge, whether they know what a certain law is, you know what I'm saying? What they know what the indictment is, they might not know what it is. You don't come off the bench, Judge, and you don't come down and say, well, let me talk to you, son, blah. It's a certain, when they come in, they look around. When I was in court one time on 51st and Wentworth, it's a cat that's a known hit. He's a known hitter on the street. This dude reacting, he's a fool on the street. When I walked up in that courtroom, he was sitting on his hands. He wouldn't even speak to me. I said, what's making this dude do this? Why is he Silence of the Lambs now? It's an arena that made him humble up. In order for our struggle, it's a certain dynamic that has been negated, that, you know what I'm saying, that they have to take this stuff seriously. It's an arrogance that comes because the black people are treated as the Rodney Dangerfields of all races. When they go to the Mexicano community, you drop off in Mexico tonight. Drop anybody off in Mexico tonight. It's gonna be a humbleness. Like, hold on, man, I'm gonna shut up. I'm not gonna say. When it comes to black folks, oh man, Black Lives Matter, that's the same thing. Occupy saying it's an arrogance. It's not questioning. It's a cockiness. So people have to be humbled up. It's certain situations have to happen that we able to penetrate. So now I got your ear, don't I? Now I got your ear. You know what I'm saying? People say, how many members do you have in a chairman? I say, depends on how many people the police kill. They say, huh? I say, depends on how many people the police kill. It's certain people that come to me at the police. Oh, I hear what you're saying now. Before that, oh, we got to vote our way out of this here. We got to block. I said, okay, I'll get back to you. When I talk to them rappers, I said, wait a minute, wait till you fighting the case. It's certain conditions have to, other than that, whatever we say to them, it's going through one ear, not the other ear. So certain, and the conditions are coming. We welcome the conditions. Nixon, I got a saying, niggas needed Nixon. When Kennedy was in office, they couldn't hear certain stuff. Nixon came through, campaigned for law and order, kicked the doors in. It forced them. They started saying, hold on, man. You know what I mean? Gruesome was out there? J. Edgar Hoover said over 90% of the COINTELPRO is the Black Panther Party. They was identified, it was clear. So all I'm saying is, it's people that grew up with me, they no humbleness, they come with an arrogance. So they got to starve a little bit. They got to appreciate and respect the distinguishment. What this dynamic is, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, they don't want to learn. They coming in, it's not a question, it's a position. They look for weak spots. You know what I'm saying? And it's, again, police come through, they're not saying the young lady said the other day on channel on the news the other day. She been with these different white groups protesting. These are children. These children are confused. They confused by everything. They confused. This particular group of children. But that child, you know what she said? She said on the news conference, she said, how is it that 80%, it was more white people out there with us protesting, who she said, I was with them, and it's a majority of us that's black that got locked up. She said, Mary Lightfoot, the girl said, I'm black. She said she's black, and she said she's gay. But she said not the gay people, the black people got locked up. It took that situation for her to say, before then, a week ago, she was saying, oh yeah, it's really about, now she getting some 101 classes in race relations. And you know what, I'm gonna say this in closing. In the 60s, you know what that generation did? My mother told her auntie, you know what them people told their parents? We love you, all due respect. We ain't cutting no corners. I got a young brother told me, he said, man, I'm upset with my father for nothing. They gonna have to raise up. You have to raise up and say, listen, mom and daddy, anybody who didn't tell us this here, no, we not holding back no more. Why is it that we don't know about this? Why is it I don't know this here? And they have to raise up. They have to, man, Malcolm X said it was a girl on the front of Time Life magazine. She's in China. She had a 45 to her daddy's head. And he said, what are you doing? She said, he betrayed the revolution. It comes to a point we have to call some questions. Why I don't know this. We have to up the ante. There have to be some cleansing around here. There has to be some cleansing. I ain't cutting no corners with nobody. Family members. Whoever it is. And that's combat liberalism. We have to up the ante. They're going to say, man, why? And some people going to say, man, I missed this. I didn't know this. I'm humble now. I'm hearing what you're saying now. But you keep on, you keep out of love. A lot of us be breastfeeding people. Well, you know, blood here. No, you have to say, this is a man. Well, what about, this is a man. This is a Chevrolet car. Well, what about my Ford? I said, this is a Chevrolet car. Well, a Ford is cheaper. This is the Black Panther Party. Well, my friend, he kind of, that's kind of like the same. I said, this is the Black Panther Party. You know, look at a post, look at this is the way we wear our uniform, the way we talk. And we have to up the ante. Up the ante. Heighten the contradictions in an objective way, not in a subject, in a way that's not just Los Angeles, not just Chicago, not just Detroit. You can apply this politics that we got, it transcends geographical, gender, and generational lines. I ain't gotta say, for the women. I ain't gotta say for the youth. This ain't no tailor-made suits. Everybody can get into it. It ain't no perfect fit. It got flaws to it. But you have to figure out, what do you supposed to be wearing? And you have to call the question and say, who has been deprived? We trying to fix us some clothes so everybody can ride to freedom, and also recognize some people trying to create some other type of clothes. It's a different agenda, and we have to come to reality. We have to come to reality with that. Whoever it is, even at the price of life, a life or death, life or death, life or death. The community is my classroom. School is in session. Ain't no teachers' pets in this classroom. I don't care who it is. Family members, friends, none of that. School is in session. At some point, Google shut down. At some point, internet, they're going to have to meet the real world. And who's going to be there? The Black Panther Party, cuz the last call for alcohol. We here.
I agree. One more person that we need to give a chance to ask a question. Derek Muhammad, I'm going to call out to you again. Derek Muhammad, 818. Are you still with us?
Yeah. Hey, greetings, Chairman Fred. Salute to you, brother.
Greetings.
I wanted to ask you, what's your opinion? And I think Sister said she wasn't going to mention the name, but this has been bothering me for several weeks. What's your opinion on the NFAC and their so-called leader, Grandmaster Jay? Because from what I understand, he doesn't strike me. He looks like an opportunist, and he's going to get a lot of people hurt, and he's going to sour the inspiration of what you and your father and the rest of the great Black Panthers done. But I just wanted to get your opinion on it. And I'm gonna sit back and listen.
If I'm correct, they don't. Okay, just for the listeners who may not be familiar with the question you raised, you said NFAC. Let me again. Let's always preface our discussion, and they didn't say that they represent the Black Panther Party, correct?
No, they like militia.
Okay. So what? So the deal is what? So I'm real big about acknowledging who you are. What you know what I'm saying? So that right there. I don't, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate that. That it's not, you know what I'm saying? That's acknowledged. Now, a lot of times we like, I mean, I hate to be graphic, but like in a relationship, you say, who is this? Or no, let's go with that. A meal. You say, man, I'm hungry right now. So what you can say, some people might say, man, we ain't had, some places may say, listen, this is needed for this location. I'm real big about self-determination. I'm not going, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what, you know what I'm saying, a person, what a certain organization may do for certain people. It's certain groups that certain organizations, people say, man, some people say that's their first time ever seeing some black people with some guns. I told you, burn that down. She seen me as a baby with a bullet around my neck as a baby. So I done seen. So some people may need to see this. So I'm not judgmental on certain. I'm not a dictator. We want self-determination. You know what I'm saying? So the deal is, I don't know if for the overall, for the people, this is like I said, this is what I represent, the Black Panther Party Cubs. Now, once you start playing games with that, you know what I'm saying? It's you like, Some people say, well, man, I drink whatever you do, whatever. That's so long as you identify and acknowledge this is what that is, and it's on you to move accordingly, and you should be able to make a choice on what it is. You know what it is. It may work for you. It may work for you, but you know what I'm saying. It may work for you, but for the clarity is this the Black Panther Party, and people say, well, we'll make it. It's a politic to this here. We even politicize the gun, and you know what I'm saying. And some place you might say, well, man, we ain't. And I feel bad that you know what I'm saying. People say, well, we ain't got that. Okay, it's certain locations. I'll be like, that may, you know, it is what it is. You know, we want to fight that people can make independent decisions and say, see, people think that all Black people want the same thing. We don't. You know, like even in the struggle, some people just want to get back at the system for something they did to them, whatever. It's different dynamics, and we have to acknowledge that and say, okay, this is that. Some people say, the church. What you think about the church? Okay, if that's your thing. But in Chicago, it's a real big thing. It's a structure. You know what I'm saying? Like one guy called me one time. He called me one time. I forgot what he called me. He said, "Man, I'm watching this show one time. I thought you told me one of those snitches in Chicago." I said, "I didn't say that. I said we don't call them gangsters." I said we don't call them gangsters. We have. This is revolutionary. This is a gangster. This is a snitch. It's an acknowledgement. It's an acknowledgement. This is what this. So dealing. Most people come in what they want someone to be. And you be like, hold on, man. This person told you what they own. You tried to make out something. So as long as you acknowledge this, what this is. Oh, you just it's a militia. It's okay. And I told you. Now that definition, that's on you. You have to call that criteria. It may be something that you may have to go fulfill with. This, like my mother said about Tupac. Cool, she said, Pac needed organization, and organization needed Tupac. Man, he needed, you know what I'm saying? This politic, man, nothing less than this. This my, how they say in church, this is my calling, man. You know what I'm saying? And not just me. I done seen what it done. I know the legacy of Dead Men's Defense, Bunchy Carter. Dead Men's Education, John Huggs, Minister European. Even with the contradictions, that's their calling. That's our calling. Now, everybody want no Panther? You got to do it a whole bunch of different groups. Some people, they call them be something else. So be it.
Understood.
Yes,
all right, brother.
Right on. Thank you. I'm getting a reminder, too, to make sure I throw out the GoFundMe.com/Save the Hampton House 50. They on my heels. I get so passionate, caught up with y'all. I get so, what Chairman Fred say, I get so caught up, I be so proletarian, revolutionary, intoxicated, I can't be actually intimidated. In other words, too, half the people to be shook up.
I like it.
Thank you.
Power to the people, Judge.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister.
Do you want to then, since you said that, want to then take a pause for the cause, I'll let you come in after this. Hold on one second.
We're always interested in what you have to say about our live broadcasts. Please share your comments on our Facebook page or website.
So at this time, we got Chairman Fred on the line. Chairman Fred, tell us again about the GoFundMe as well as the actual campaign.
Campaign to save the Hampton House. It's bigger than the building, more significant than the structure. Bigger than the building, more significant than the structure. The Hampton House is the childhood home where Chairman Fred Hampton grew up in. You know what I'm saying? It's, you know what I'm saying, the legacy, not only Chairman Fred, the Black Panther Party, they have to fight for self-determination. We will be exposing contradictions there. Our survival programs are still being held there. You know what I'm saying? The support, GoFundMe.com/Save the Hampton House 50, Cash App, Save the Hampton House, or even better yet, if you can come through yourself directly, like people been coming through to 804 South 17th Avenue and coming through, dropping off paint, dropping off bottles of water, helping get flyers produced. That's where we at. We are right there, 804 South 17th Avenue. We have transformed not only that location, that community. You know what I'm saying? It's a microcosm of what's happening. You know what I'm saying? Of what's happening in every colonized community throughout the world. So again, without the people, revolution is impossible. So again, whatever support people can, those who supported already, come again. Matter of fact, we say cub again, not come again, cub again.
Can you also mention the city for those people who again aren't familiar and who are Google literate?
Yeah, Maywood, Illinois. 804 South 17th Avenue, Maywood, Illinois, 60153. Now, you know what I'm saying? And Y'all, man, it's technically it's like right up the cusp of the west side of Chicago. Yeah, so 804 South 17th Avenue, Maywood, Illinois 60153.
Thank you. Appreciate you for that. So again, the lines are still open, guys. If you got additional questions or comments, please do so at this time. Again, we are in overtime, and then towards the end or at the end, I'll let Judge wrap it up. So that I can go and immediately put this out on our YouTube and our iHeart and Spotify. Does anybody? I'm sorry.
You gotta put this one out, Valerie.
Gotta do what? There's some feedback. My
You gotta get this one out there.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna put this one out there.
I'm not sure he's on three-way. He couldn't get back in. Maurice, you want to say anything?
Yes. I just wanted to thank the Brother John Joe Brown and Chairman Fred for the wonderful show presentation. And I wanted
hold on, Maurice,
a quick question.
You're a little muffled.
Yes.
Maurice, you're a little muffled.
You
shift your microphone.
Okay.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, and then also, if I could just get everybody to, other than our chairman and judge, to mute your mic, because we're getting some microphone feedback. I actually changed mine, but my part won't be in, so it doesn't really matter. But can everybody just mute, because we're getting some nasty feedback. I didn't want to say that while our chairman was speaking. But yeah, thank you. Okay, so it went dead. All right, so Maurice, at this time, if you could please continue.
Yes. Is that better? Because I'm already in a
feedback, but it's okay.
It's probably the rain. I'm in my car. It's probably the rain. I just had a quick question for Chairman Fred about these T-shirt vendors using his father image, and I don't know if he has comfortable how far he's willing to go to answer the question about a specific T-shirt vendor that I personally shopped with and honestly bought a shirt of his father's image, and I wasn't sure if the family was getting any percentage off his father image. One T-shirt vendor is like Artistic Tees. That's the T-shirt vendor that I had purchased his father's shirt from, and I wanted to know if he or if his family is getting any percentages off of those T-shirt sales.
It's a YouTube clip I recommend you check out called go to YouTube, type in Chairman Fred addresses contraband clothing. It's on YouTube. It shows we go up and we expose this. Okay. Chairman Fred Hampton Jr. addresses contraband clothing. Now we're gonna be giving lists of those unauthorized, exposing. And I won't go into details how we've dealt with some of these contradictions before. And and I appreciate you for asking that question. Because again, a lot of people, they pop up. You watch that video. They pop up. They're not around to support when we fighting these cases, and the guy bombed people out, paid the Hampton House. So I appreciate you. And get in contact. Matter of fact, email us at either savethehamptonhouse@gmail.com or Chairman Fred Jr. spelled out at gmail.com. And you see these, because again, the people, not just the Black Panther Party, because we have to expose these opportunities. You know what I'm saying? And again, look at that video. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because this is not no joke with us. This is real deal. And like in certain language, you can look at and see what's authentic and what's live and what's Memorex, what's real and what's fraud. You know what I'm saying? And again, sometimes you let certain. Okay, yeah. Well, I know we're on time. Yep.
Chairman Fred.
Yeah.
Oh, Fred.
Chairman Fred.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm coming back to Chicago, and I'm bringing this brother with me. I go back to Chicago, you going with me?
Man, listen.
Oh, yes,
come on with it.
You're going to meet with Chairman Fred.
So you're right. So you're right.
Yes, because and I'm cool with this, because I've been shopping with that T-shirt, that T-shirt company for over 10 years, man. And I always wondered, did they give,
no.
Did they donate a percentage of that money.
No, you call that question, bro.
I'm gonna check out that YouTube.
Call that question and expose. You know what I'm saying? We'll make them infamous, man. Call that question, cause see, this is a time right now. You know what I'm saying? Man, this man, people, profit. We the bogus book writers. We done to run up on book. Man, we done ran up. Man, I'm not gonna give y'all the history. We don't cut no corners with these jokers, man. And sometimes you let it move. Like when Forrest Whitaker was talking about doing the movie on Chairman Freddie first, and then some people in the party say, hey, man, that man's son don't play no games. He backed up. Sometimes it's good to let it sit for a second and watch it. Like this one sister, my mother, she's like a good friend of my mother's back in the days. She tells you, man, Chairman Fred Sr., let them jokers move around. And see, I hate him. I hate him. See, I usually don't say Chairman Fred Sr. People know, you know what I'm saying? It's a certain understanding people know they have to pick up on. So I'm gonna go and yield and say it. So Chairman Fred would let people come around because it'd be more people to come around that attract to the you know what I'm saying, the less structured. And then Chairman Fred would get that green light. All right, go check them. You know, go shit all that. So she said,
I didn't put them in there.
She said once.
I put the dirty one.
She said I'm your friend. Hey, Deborah Johnson, hey, you my friend or not? Hey, you're not a member of the Black Panther Party. We can kick it and that. See, but the deal is if you move too quickly, listen. If the state knew who the go-getters was too prematurely, if I resort to just being reactionary, it's like you call for a barbecue and you go get a leg of ham, a leg of lamb. And you cut the fat off too early, ain't nobody coming to the barbecue. You bring that big old leg of lamb, you know what I'm saying? And then the heat come on, then you can start cutting the fat off. But you let all the people, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like in the street organizations, man. It might be two or three guys that's really gonna get down. But you don't know that. So you don't come through the strip because you don't know who's the go-getter, who ain't the go-getter. You know what I'm saying? And that's the type of atmosphere. See, in the 60s, it took a while for the government to pick on who to kill, who knows. You know, so they knew who to kill, who lock up. But however, the Panthers had a grace period where they was able to move around. That it was a lot of people, you know, saying, "Oh, we this and that." They didn't know who was who. So right, you know, saying, for my political survival, let them cats keep faking the funk, getting on rap songs, saying this and that, throwing up the fist. So, man, this gives me time to organize some real deal action. Because once they find out. Man, please. I'm not even gonna tell you what it's gonna look like. So the atmosphere and the leadership and the real deal, real recognize real. I see it's a piece on YouTube with DMX talking to Nipsey Hussle. Soon as he see him, they click right in. They ain't gotta say, man, you know, I'm a real street dude. They ain't gotta say that. Fishermen recognize fishermen. They ain't got no tackle box out there. Oh man, what you think? Hey man, you think that dude over there, man, the cow herder, he's saying he a fisherman? You think he won? You think he won? Huh? It's a smell about him. It's a walk about him. The fish know it. The fish start getting little when he come around the lake. The pigs know who the Panthers is. They know who the Panther Cubs is. They ain't checking these different bogus groups. All people talking about is they the real deal or not. They ain't kicking through their door, they kicking through our door. They ain't locking them up. Minister UAP Newton told the Communist Party, we've had more attacks in the last 3 months than y'all had in your whole existence. These other group people talking about, they not in our arena. Ain't no comparison. You gotta put grandmama food, ask us, is McDonald's saying they making some real deal home cooking meal. She looking at you like, what? You must ain't never had no home cooking meal. And first, before you said, and I sympathize with you for that, but you're gonna first humble yourself up and say, wait a minute, grandmama, I ain't never had one. Okay, now we can talk. But you come here cocky, well, just tell me, hold on. I've been out here, I had to go get ground chuck. I had to season this up. You compare me to somebody flipping some damn burgers up, some damn patties that's been frozen up in there? You comparing this revolutionary organization that's been targeted, attacked? Deputy chairman fighting the case in France right now. Name me one of them people in these different groups that's fighting these cases right now. I wish it was, but you can't. Pay for our education. And I ain't talking about no damn university tuition. I'm going to do blood, sweat, tears, and penitentiary time in graveyards. That's my cue.
Right.
Yeah. All right. So at this time, thank you so much again. Is that the last question or comment before we toss it back to Judge? Going once. Anybody else got anything to say?
Maurice, you want to go again, or you want me to go? Chairman,
yeah. Oh yeah, man. I don't want to bogart, man, but I appreciate all your work, man. All that your father's legacy, your legacy, your mother's legacy. I appreciate Judge Brown comments for exposing the LGBTs to trying to say that the Black Panther Party was basically, they was fighting for LGBT rights. We all know that's bullshit. That's bullshit, straight up. And yeah, straight up. And also with the new Black Panther Party down there in Texas with these actors, I don't know if y'all talk about that before or not, but you got actors, you got paid actors dressing in the Black Panther gear that they're known for, that the ancestors and the freedom fighters are known for. They're dressing in that, like it's a Comic-Con, honestly, just dressing up, putting the fists up with cops. That's not, we know, man. That's not what the Black Panther Party was about. The real Black Panther Party. So I just want to salute y'all, brothers, and thank you so much, man.
Wait a minute, Maurice.
Yes,
and tell them what me and you, hey, Judge, me and his brother, we talked to you yesterday. We about to try to do some big things down here in VA, so you'll be hearing more from this brother, Judge Joe Brown, and Fred Hampton. We're going to come out there to see you too, bro.
You can say, hey, Bernard, you can say, Chairman, it's a cleansing process, man. It's a cleansing, it's a cleansing process, man. It's a different feeling. It's a different walk. Once you start identifying your own, not that the state ain't validated, it feels good. Believe me, it feels. It ain't no ego tripping. Ain't no ego tripping. It's a structure. It's a structure.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a feeling of independence, man. And once you get it, anything less. Once you eat grandmama's food, man, McDonald's burger don't taste. You don't taste the same. You know what I'm saying? I know it's hard to fight. It's a cleansing. Just try it. It's a cleansing process. It's a taste of independence, man. That you start say, whoa, your walk start changing. Your talk start changing. It's a taste. Go on, taste it, man.
Hey, Maurice.
Yes, sir.
You came to my house yesterday, and you talk about you got that Pan-African. And I want you to talk about the little survival fund thing the survival thing. You got two study groups, so I want you to put it out there to attract anybody. I know all these people out in Virginia, but we're gonna do some powerful things down here, including in the school system, when me and you get a chance.
Oh yeah, definitely, brother. And I thank you, brother Bernard, man, for allowing me, the platform to put my organization. I'll be brief. Basically, I'm a member of the Pan African Revolutionary Socialist Party, and this is a party, ideological party that studied the works and abide by the works of Kwame Nkrumah, the first president of any country. The first African president, first black president of any country. Kwame